Right. Yay, we're live. Chatterbox 74. I really hope that I didn't just make like a second 74. But it's
Yeah.
entirely possible, just so you know.
Yeah, why not?
Let's see. Nope. It is the right number. Okay. I'm always worried that I'm like repeating numbers. And then sooner or later, there's going to be like a 70, like 4, and then like a 74, and then like another 74 or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like it would be kind of fitting for us, dude.
It would be appropriate. That's a fair point.
Yeah, why not? The hell,
All
I can
right,
get you for going live.
We got it all lived out, man. So I do know how to stream now. I can't actually stream to the channel.
Right on.
So I don't know if when you guys will get a chance, but Engelharth and you should both try to run VR chat on your PCs and see if it actually runs, because it might not. I mean, it's still a new game and it takes a lot of resources.
Yeah. I need to try it like right after we get off the air today, because again, it's the only way I'm gonna fucking remember.
Just to load it up.
If it's immediately after. Like, no going to the restroom, nothing, dude. Because that 2-minute period is enough to fucking have me forget all about it.
Well, I think we should both be prepared to give each other at least one bathroom break.
Yeah.
Just on a standard show. Instead of trying to go for 3 hours, just miserable for like the last hour. You know? Just, at some point, we just allow the other guy to go take a piss.
Yeah.
To be reasonable.
Yeah,
let's see. Oh, this is one that I thought was kind of fucked up. I just saw this on Twitter, and I just figured it was still relevant because apparently those fucking kids are still touting gun control. Apparently, 2 SWAT team members are indefinitely suspended for running toward the Parkland massacre.
Wow.
Yeah. The officers did not have permission to respond to the shooting at Parkland on February 14th when 17 people were killed. And that created an officer safety issue and left them unaccountable for their actions, according to the police department.
These 2 are the ones you got to go after. That makes fucking sense.
Yeah. The ones who actually tried to do something, as opposed to the one in the school who hid, and then the other ones who just waited outside.
Yeah.
For 4 fucking minutes while that guy killed however many people more.
Yeah. This is getting really fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it may have been a violation of policy to not notify their the union says, well, it may have been a violation for them not to notify their supervisors. Their intentions were brave and heroic.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe they're even considering. Well, they actually did it, right?
No, they're already suspended. They're suspended indefinitely for right now. Like, they're not. Essentially, they're suspended until the police department sees whether or not they can get away with it and what they can punish them with. You know, like what they're going to do.
Yeah, I would love to see this, dude.
Yeah. Oh, and they're also apparently going after a third one. So the 2 that got suspended are Detective Jeffrey Gilbert and Detective Carl Schlosser, who I think we should all just, pay a little respect to. Like, that's respect, man. They were actually trying to do something. As opposed to the entire rest of the department, apparently.
Yeah. They're being fucking punished for it, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It blows my mind. And then a third SWAT member, Officer Kevin Gonzalez, apparently was he's been linked. They think he may have made several social media posts that put the police and city in a negative light. And he was suspended for violating the department's social media policy, and the code of conduct rule said. I would argue that the city and the police department put themselves in a negative light, and he had nothing to fucking do with it.
Yeah, it was their actions, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, you made sure that everybody found out we did bad things, so you're in trouble. I have a real fucking issue with that. That's directly in violation of the whistleblower laws. Because the whistleblower laws are there to defend people like Kevin Gonzalez, who are like, hey, you know what? We fucked up. And then everybody else is like, hey, that guy's lying, and we're going to have to fire him now. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like they have an opportunity here to, at the very least, mea culpa and make some drastic changes that will actually improve their police department. But instead, they're just like, anybody who's good, get rid of them.
Yeah, anybody who actually wanted to try to help, fuck them.
Yeah, fucking creepy. I just saw it on Twitter, and I was like, I gotta share that shit because that was such an insane thing.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I really, dude. I don't know if I mentioned this actually on air before, but I have this theory that my social media feeds are actually from some weird bizarro universe, and these things aren't really happening on the planet that I'm on right now.
You hope.
You know, because it just seems so fucking crazy. Like, dude, this shit doesn't make any fucking sense. And I don't see like the fucking, you know, again, the division that everybody seems to think is so prevalent. I don't see it in my daily life of people fucking hating each other for different opinions. So I'm like, well, fuck, maybe. I don't seriously believe it. It's just a fucking joke.
You know, when I talk politics,
sometimes, dude, I'm like,
just
that
regular
can't be from the universe.
No, when I talk politics, it's just regular people. There's no big deal.
Yeah,
it's all propaganda. I mean, it really is. It's a huge propaganda machine.
Yeah, trying to convince everybody that anybody who disagrees with you has to be the enemy and is evil.
And that's the thing. Yeah, it's the news and the internet services, Twitter and then Facebook and YouTube, actively working to do this. Like Google and companies like that are actively working to create more panic and fear.
Yeah, that's pretty goddamn nuts.
That's the problem. Yeah. Well, there's no. I mean, I don't know how you would do it because I don't want to give up freedom of speech, but there's no real regulation to deal with flat out propaganda. Like, this is observably false information that a lot of these news places are putting out. They're not. Yeah. They don't have any sources. There's no facts to back any of what they're saying up, like 90% of the time. And
the Trump-Russia thing is. So, the Trump-Russia thing, they're still trying to sell that shit, dude. It's fucking amazing.
Dude, my dad was trying to tell me the other night, I shit you not. I'm like, because he was going on and on about Trump, and I'm like, no, Trump has done an excellent job so far as president. Especially, like, even far and away beyond considering the amount of resistance he's gotten.
Yeah.
Like, he's put in several tax laws, and he's guiding the business world to major recovery. It is affecting people's wages. It is affecting the amount of jobs that are available. People are getting employed instead of being unemployed. Huge amounts of recovery in like the Midwest. And a lot of these tariffs and stuff that people are bitching and moaning about now on his side are the kind of things that will encourage business to start up again here.
Right.
You know, like if steel is too expensive to buy from Canada, we have more than enough resources in our country to be producing steel.
Yeah.
It's silly not to encourage businesses to use products that we make ourselves for our own market.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to do the right thing as far as jobs and the economy and shit. Yeah, I'm a little worried about his gun control stance.
He keeps going back and forth on that, so I'm not sure what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little worried. I'm not sure where he's at. But again, it worries me a little. But yeah, other than that,
because he was talking about gun control changes, and I'm like, I'm wondering if maybe that was like a testing the waters thing.
Like it seems like he does that a lot.
Control, do that what people really want? And then he's like, oh no, that's not what people want. Well, then I won't do it.
He'll throw it out there, see what the reaction is, and then kind of walk it back if he has to.
Yeah, because it seems like he genuinely is like a populist in that regard. Like, as far as like business stuff, he probably knows exactly what he's doing, but the rest of it, he's probably like, what do people really want? Because it's supposed to be how this works.
Yeah, which is good for some things, but again, like you said, for as far as business stuff, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he knows better than the average person.
Yeah, it never fails to amuse me how many people honestly believe that they know more about business than like Trump, and I'm like, the dude's a billionaire. You don't have any money in your savings account or your checkings account. Like, what the fuck do you know about business? Like,
But yeah, no, that seems, yeah, for something like the gun control thing. Yeah, I'd like to see where it comes out on it. But again, like you said, I think you're right in saying he's just kind of
or doing a little damage control.
Yeah, he's checking the pulse.
Well, or he could just be like, oh, well, if I start talking about it, maybe then that'll kind of start to ebb the panic spike that the Democrats are trying to create.
Right.
If I start talking about, well, maybe there's something to talk about with gun control here, it'll take away some of their power to create the panic. Because essentially that's what they're trying. They're trying for moral panic to try to take away guns. Essentially, they don't give a shit about school shooting. None of the people who are promoting it really care.
They
just want to take away guns because they want communism and socialism, and they know that that's probably the only way they could do it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to disarm the populace. Yeah.
Which is just never going to happen. I mean, short of like trying to use the military to go house to house to get guns, which would utterly fail because then the people would just revolt.
Right. And how long are most of the dudes in the military going to continue to obey orders like that when they're having to kill people because they don't want to give up their guns?
What's interesting is people try to keep comparing other countries' military to ours and being like, well, soldiers are brainwashed and they don't know what the fuck they're doing and they'll just do whatever they're told. And I'm like, I don't think our soldiers are the same as the other country soldiers. It's a totally different system.
There'd certainly be some of those, but I would say they're not going to be anywhere near the majority as far as just following orders.
There may be people who just agree with that law, but like the majority of them, like they're very clear that their oath is not to the president. Their oath is not to Congress. Their oath is not to the judiciary. Their oath is not to like their general. The oath they swear is to the Constitution itself.
Right.
And that's a big difference between other countries' militaries and ours. Like ours is every bit as disciplined and they have rules and they're well trained. But at the end of the day, their oath to protect is to protect the Constitution, to protect what makes the country what it is, the spirit of the country, essentially.
Right. Yeah. So that would definitely fail on multiple levels, dude, if they really tried to disarm like that.
Oh well, I mean, there's so many things like people. There's no way our military could take over our country, like the way it does in other countries. First of all, we're armed. There's way too many for it to give up. The amount of geography that they'd have to cover, coupled with the fact that you're not going to be able to tell the people who will shoot soldiers from the people that won't. It's not like rebels that are revolting against a tyrannical government are going to be wearing like uniforms and big fucking badges.
Right.
All right, everybody that's rebelling, put on your orange hat. That's not how it fucking works. Whereas soldiers do wear uniforms and everybody knows who they are. And there's going to be defectors on both sides, spies on both sides. But ultimately, our military at the most could maybe occupy 2 or 3 states and really control them. I mean, it's just not possible.
Yeah. The logistics are all wrong, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's one of the reasons why Japan didn't try to invade. Is there's so many people, and all of them could have guns. There was also, issues with how far away it was in World War II, but also because I got some guy I'm trolling who keeps trying to tell me like, no, they didn't invade because it was too far away. I'm like, but they attacked Pearl Harbor, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, the balloon bombs made it over.
Yeah, they took boats because boats are a thing, and brought a lot of airplanes really close and flew them in and bombed one of our harbors.
Right.
You really think it's such an impossible concept that they could have potentially used troop carriers and floated them over to one of our coasts?
Yeah, especially considering the damage they did at Pearl Harbor. I mean, they fucking took out quite a few ships there.
Well, and the real big, it'd be a really big difference between being on the air and on the ground, though. And it really is an issue of like they would never know how many guns they'd be facing at any given point that they tried to like invade. It might not be the military. It might literally just be, 400 townspeople from whatever local cities that have all gathered with guns and are shooting at them from like the fucking coast,
from the woods or something. Yeah, or the woods, or you know, a cliff up on the coast, or you know, wherever, dude. They're going to be
as they're going down the street in a city. You know, a bunch of people might take it upon themselves to just go and see how many they can take out. You know, ambush them because they're, you know, the citizens might be like, all right, we got 20 people. There's a patrol of 5. Let's take them down. That
there'd be a lot of
harassment.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of guerrilla warfare, shooting from the woods or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's what decimated our forces in Vietnam, why we lost so many people. It's this constant harassment from all sides. You don't know where to. It's the, you know, there's no guaranteed knowledge of where your attack is coming from. Like you can't prepare for it. To a certain extent.
Yeah, the balloon bombs didn't work. I think they were actually thinking that was going to actually work. That's what cracks me up. Did you ever hear about that?
Oh, were they going to like float balloons with bombs on them?
No, they did. They did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Sounds like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, some of them like landed, but none of them were anywhere near anything significant, and none of them actually, like, I don't think any of them really blew up, you know? Like, people found them and they reported them and they got disposed of or whatever. But yeah, they actually tried to fucking float over these clusters of bombs, dude. And, well, like I said, some of them actually made it over, but none of them caused any fucking damage.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, what was it? Oh, I completely forgot what I was going to go into. So fucking the other night, my dad and I are arguing about politics. And I'm explaining why, you know, all the things that Trump has done that are positive. Because I'm like, yeah, there's things he's done that are bad, and there's a lot of things he's done that are super good for the country too. And you know, my concern isn't that, you know, maybe he talked with some Russian at some point. You know, I'm more concerned about things like Antifa and whatnot that are just not being reported by the news. He's like, what is this Antifa? And he had no idea what it was. So I described it to him. I explained to him what it was. And he's, well, how do you know that's really happening? I'm like, because I see videos of it from all over the fucking country.
There's a lot of video evidence.
I mean, there's literally probably like 3 or 4 days. If you just watched like one video consecutively after the other, there's probably like a couple of days worth of video at least.
Yeah, probably way more than that. But yeah,
oh, I'm sure there's more than like there's you know, a few hundred hours worth of video at the bare minimum. Especially if you take different videos from the same events from different people, like include that. And he's like, well, just hold on now. What if it was the Russians making those videos so that you would think that there was going on, but it's not really happening?
Wow.
He literally believes that it's Russian spies made those videos that I watched.
That's amazing.
I mean, how fucking delusional and ideological can you fucking get?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. like, hey, there's arrest records of the people that got arrested. Does that help you at all?
They declared Antifa a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
The fucking government did. Like, I don't think they did that over like Russian spy created fucking stuff.
Yeah, fairly ineffective, but their intentions are pretty terroristic. Did you see this? Yeah. I showed you the Sargon thing, right?
Oh, yeah, dude, that was fucking glorious. I'd seen a bunch of that prior to the video you sent, but it was nice to see somebody collecting it all together.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job of getting the main, the clips there, the quartering.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, he mentioned Butterbean, and we were talking about Butterbean the other night, so I thought that was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, I did catch that reference. That was pretty awesome. I just feel like I'm at the point where I'm like, the police refuse to do anything in our country and other countries. They just will not act.
Yeah.
Because this is not, you know, protest. This is destruction of property, lighting things on fire, and trying to kill people. Because in that thing, I don't know if you noticed, nobody really mentioned it, but they actually put 2 of the security guards in the hospital.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So they had Sargon had a video and covered a lot more of what was going on, like from the inside perspective. Right. First of all, I like that he did the whole thing with the Antifa flag on the wall behind him. And he's like, this is my fucking trophy. But no, they apparently, somebody got one of their, a piece of paper off of one of them that was like their plan, and their plan was to like ambush and knock out the guards
Wow.
Like some sort of fucking 80s spy movie bullshit thing.
Put them all, sneak up behind them all like ninja style and put them in sleeper holds.
And so two guards ended up going to the hospital for head injuries because they fucking, hit them on the head with shit.
Wow.
Like they're fucking Wile E. Coyote and stuff.
They dropped a fucking anvil. Dropped a fucking anvil on their head.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God. One, it's my brother refuses to believe that they're not a good group of people.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing.
It's amazing what your ideology can blind you to. It's like, look, I'm Republican. That doesn't mean I'm going to pretend that there are no bad Republicans and that everything in the Republican Party is perfect. There's so many problems.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like considering myself anything. Like Republican, Democrat, even if I'm leaning a certain way. I just don't want to fucking get myself into a position where I'm going to automatically think or believe that, hey, my side never does anything wrong and their side never does anything right. I fear that, so that's why I don't want to label myself either way.
I would agree with you. I only call myself a Republican now because I was registered as a Democrat.
Right. And
after the whole Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton primaries, I was like, well, if they're just not going to respect what the people in their own party want, I'm specifically going to leave the party and join the other one.
Right.
So technically speaking, I am registered as a Republican. Realistically, I'm probably more of like an independent, but I'm not really like for any given side. Although the independent is like a political party, though, I don't really agree with a lot of their people anyway. So I don't know if there is like an unaffiliated.
There should be. That's the thing. The independent party deliberately named themselves that. Right, so that fucking people would fucking claim independent, thinking they're just saying they're not part of a party instead of actually they're saying they're part of the independent party.
Yeah, which is its own little sort of like halfway between weirdo kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's too bad we only have two parties. I would really like to see 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 parties because it would make it much harder for corporates to buy out.
Yeah, well, I think the Democrats are gonna do their best to bring themselves low enough that there are viable other parties. It really seems like they're on a determined to self-destruct on some level. So,
California,
they're broke. Apparently, they're really fucking broke. Yeah, since Hillary lost, all the fucking shit all the money that they were getting from corporate donors and that kind of shit, completely dried up because they're like, well, we're not even getting any fucking money back. The bitch didn't win.
Yeah, exactly. They're not getting anything from it. What was it? Here's okay. There's a couple things I've got here that actually relate exactly to what you were saying. Just the kind of delusional thinking. So this is something I was seeing all day yesterday. And on the news, like my dad was watching the news, like their last couple of days. This is the shit they've been talking about. They were talking about a blue wave in Texas. And you're like they kept talking about Texas is probably going to end up going Democrat now because Trump is so bad. Nope. Turns out not even fucking remotely close. Like it's so fucking ridiculous. And these are all primaries, right? So this is just deciding who the people that are running will be. But if you look at the primaries, like the Republican primary winner got 1.3 million votes. The Democrat for the same, their primary, that guy only got 640,000.
Wow, so it's more than double. That's fucking awesome.
Even if you add all of the other votes for everybody in the Democratic primary, you still don't win if everybody who voted for Cruz in the primary votes for him in the election.
Yeah.
Not even close. I mean, it's like you don't even break 1 million. No, you just barely break 1 million. Yeah.
Yeah. How the fuck can you think Texas was going to... Yeah, that is so fucking delusional.
Well, and then they go governor for the governorship. The governor got 1.3 million votes. And they ended up with 2 Democratic candidates. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like they checked off 2 for winning. But one had 430,000 and the other one had 280,000. And you're just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Like, it's so silly.
Yeah. No, that's they don't seem to want to acknowledge reality, dude. Or they're trying to somehow, again, through propaganda, trying to sway people, thinking somehow like you're going to convince the people of Texas to vote Democrat.
If that was their tactic, the mistake is to crow about victory prior to it happening, because that is going to get a lot more Republicans riled up and ready to go out and vote. And maybe they might have stayed home.
Yeah, that's true, man. You know? Yeah, it could be like, oh shit, I better vote because it sounds like they're really in danger of the Democrats winning.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with, or similar with Clinton not getting elected. I think a lot of people probably did stay home, figuring Clinton was going to win in a landslide, and the Trump people, people that were voting for Trump were passionate and really wanted, change or whatever, and they fucking showed up, man.
Yeah, and the Democrats didn't buy enough illegal aliens to vote enough to win.
Right. Yeah. Did you see the thing they were making a big deal about in Texas? The fact that you couldn't use a student ID as proof of residence.
Yeah, because it doesn't make you a fucking resident. Like, I could go to Texas State. I live in California. I shouldn't be voting in Texas State elections.
Yeah. You got people from out of state. You got people from out of country that can have a fucking student ID.
Well, I mean, they were talking about the Chicago elections. The Chicago mayor continually, like right before elections, always will push and give all the illegal people in his fucking city special IDs or something like that.
Wow.
So essentially, that's the only reason he still keeps being elected as the mayor of Chicago, is because he's literally just handing out, free votes to people that have no business voting.
Yeah, that is amazing, because, man, Chicago is starting to look like fucking, like Escape from New York or Escape from LA, Yeah. I think it's fucking starting to get that bad.
Well, they don't allow the police to do anything. They don't fund the police enough to make a dent. And all these minorities that they supposedly care so much about are just left to fucking twist in the wind with no protection.
Yeah, and they still vote for the fucking Democrats. It's amazing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, as bad as the crime is, it's still a small portion of the communities there.
Right.
And why should, 80-90% of the black people who live there not enjoy the same police protection as everybody else that lives there? That's not a way to go.
Yeah, it's fucking awful, man. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Well, and then California does shit like they're specifically trying to get tax laws passed in California to effectively nullify all of the cuts in business taxes.
Wow.
So for my state taxes, they're fucking minimal. Most people's state taxes really aren't that much. Even if you're, making a ton of money, you're still the amount you're paying compared to the amount you're paying federal taxes is just fucking nothing.
Right.
For instance, my refund from the state was $150, and my refund from federal was $1,000 or $1,100 and some odd. But yeah, it was night and day difference.
Yeah.
And it was equally representative in how much I paid in total over the course of the year. But businesses pay a lot of state taxes in a lot of states. And man, in California, they're trying to just take away all those cuts that the federal put through. That's insane.
Yeah,
you're making more money. We want to take it from you.
They raised the state percentage to what they were getting credited for, or getting less.
It's like a protection It's like a protection racket. A protection racket. Oh, your rent went down $50. Well, it looks like our rates went up $50.
Right. Yeah, it looks like you got 50 extra bucks for us.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's exactly like the fucking mafia. It's insane. And it's just going to drive more and more businesses away. And like I said, there's sort of an exodus going on in California of the middle class. It's just we can't do it. It's not worth it. We're going to end up being, third world citizens in a first world country in one of the wealthiest states of the country.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it seems like that state has really, really been mismanaged, dude, for a long time, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the cost of living compared to the minimum wages is insane, even when they're raising it up to 12.
Right.
Like the cost of living where I'm at, realistically, you should be getting 15 to 20 bucks an hour to live on your own here. To not be like, you know, needing some sort of assistance from somebody, whether that be like friends all living together to help each other out or whatever. Because, like, you know, if your car breaks down, you probably won't have enough to fix it if you're not making a lot more than most people are making here.
Yeah. No, it's pretty fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Like, you might lose your apartment because you got to pay to get your car fixed, and you don't want to lose your job too, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Although, what was it? Governor Brown and what's his name? Jeff Sessions kind of went at it.
Oh yeah, I saw that a little bit, but I didn't really see exactly what it was about.
So here we go. Because I saw this and I'm like, well, it applies to my state. So obviously, you know, I was like, oh, I got to check this shit out. So Jeff Sessions just essentially was like, you know, Trump is at war with California because California is completely going against all of the federal government's laws. Like they're ignoring it essentially. And Jerry Brown was all pissed off, and he's like, you know, this is unprecedented. That's completely unacceptable. I can't believe that they would do this. It's just a political stunt, blah, blah, blah. What was it? He also said, we know the Trump administration is full of liars. They've pled guilty already to the special counsel, which is not an accurate statement.
God damn.
I mean, the only person who's ever pled anything even close to guilty is Flynn, and he might be changing his thing. He might be going back on that and saying, you know what? No. Innocent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, it's all fucking bullshit propaganda, man. I'm not a big fan of Sessions, to be honest with you, especially his stance on fucking drugs and shit is pretty fucking archaic. But yeah, in this case, kind of want to support the guy.
Dude, Sessions, this is gangster. So I missed this last part. This is a quote from one of the things he said. Federal law is the supreme law of the land. There is no nullification. There is no secession. Federal law is the supreme law of the land. I would invite any doubters to go to Gettysburg to the tombstones of John C. Calhoun and Abraham Lincoln. This matter has been settled.
Yeah.
That's fucking gangster.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like not a fan of his policies, but that's fucking gangster as shit.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit that you're trying to claim you have the rights to do this fucking shit.
In direct opposition to the federal laws which have been established and do in fact have the right to do the things they're doing. California has levied a law that will fine businesses like $10,000 if they comply with ICE investigations.
Wow.
They are by California state law basically required not to.
They're going to break federal law?
Yeah. That's essentially what they're saying is you either commit a felony, you violate federal law, or you're in trouble with us kind of thing.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
Let's see if I can find that.
All right.
Comply with ICE.
Yeah. Since I see nobody in the chat, I'm kind of finishing off my Electastic cards for the day.
Oh, here we go. Oh, my phone is making weird noises. What the fuck?
Well, I thought that was mine for a second.
That's fucking weird. All right. Suddenly my phone had like a wall of text on it that just disappeared.
Ooh.
It's an old flip phone, so I'm not surprised that weird shit's happening.
All right.
I want to say I've brought this up before, but Yeah, new California law fines employers up to $10,000 if they share information with ICE. Xavier Becerra, obviously somebody who probably shouldn't have the job because he doesn't know what the fucking laws are. Threatened employers with legal repercussions, including being prosecuted if they help share information with federal immigration authorities that violate the state's sanctuary state bill.
Yeah, considering that fucking sanctuary thing is fucking pretty
illegal in the first place.
Yeah.
It's in violation of constitutional law, but don't freaking. Apparently, you get to pick and choose which parts of the law you agree with if you're in California.
Yeah, they need to cut the tiny bit at the bottom, like the southern along the southern border there, make it part of like Arizona or make it its own state, so they have no international border.
Take it away. Like, look, you weren't capable of handling having an international border. So I'm sorry, but you no longer get one.
Right.
You just take a 100-mile wide strip down the coast and all the way around the bottom as well. Yeah. So they don't have international like borders on the coastline. They don't have them on the bottom. Nothing.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
That the state of California sucks. New state, 51st state of the union.
Yeah, the state of the good California.
That shit would be fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, you can secede, but everything is from San Diego County and south has got to stay part of the U.S. You can have the rest of that state.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love that area, dude. Sorry. It's like the only... I've never been to Northern California, but I hate L.A., but I love San Diego.
No, there's lots of places in California that are great, man. I mean, the national parks and stuff in California are... There's really not a lot of places that compare. I mean, they're phenomenal.
Right,
they're just so beautiful, and there's so many really wonderful like nature spots in California.
Yeah, the coast is, especially in the northern area, right?
Oh yeah, like I'd say I'm somewhere on the north end of the central area of California. I would say, sort of, yeah. And man, I can drive to some redwood forests and some places to go hiking that are just ridiculously gorgeous.
Yeah, I want to see that before I die. The redwoods, the sequoias. I want to fucking see that shit before I fucking die.
Oh, I mean, you're walking
fucking amazing.
These trails through trees that are like, 30 times as big around as yourself, and just you can't see the top, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, get an idea of it, but yeah, without it's kind of like the Grand Canyon, man. Like, okay, you get that it's big, but unless you're actually standing there looking down into it, you can't really grasp it. In fact, I probably mentioned this before, but I had been there before, and I just went back last October, and I had already forgotten, even though I had actually been there before.
Yeah, oh yeah,
how big that fucking
it's like the beach, man. The beach kind of gets you the same way. And I think that it's important to go see those things regularly.
Yeah,
to remind yourself not that you're not as important as you think you are, like to kind of kill the ego a little bit.
Yeah, helpful. Indeed.
I think that's why a lot of coastal areas tend to be more relaxed. Because every day they see like this giant,
nature,
deep, vast ocean that doesn't give a fuck about them. They could wipe them out at any given moment.
Right. The waves are going to keep rolling in, whether you're here or not, asshole.
And it just gives you a little more perspective on, I'm not that important. Like I mean, obviously, you matter, but the ocean's going to matter a lot more for a lot longer.
Right. Yeah.
I was wondering if pilots get that. When they go up in the air and they're flying like from state to state or flying to another country, get like that perspective of how vast the world really is.
It would seem like it would have to, man, being that up high up, actually I think that's high. Is that high enough to see the actual curvature of the Earth? I don't know.
Oh yeah, and some of the planes, yeah, absolutely, I'm sure.
That's true. They go up to what, 40, 50,000 feet? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I know it's at least 30. Yeah,
well, I think they go higher. Some of the planes depends on what kind of plane.
Right, and how far they're going.
But I think there's also a big range because they'll fly higher to go over storms or lower to get better air currents, and just depends on where they're going and what kind of plane. I think really.
Indeed.
But I bet that's got to be kind of a cool perspective to be like, I'm going a couple 100 miles an hour here, and fucking, I'm hours away from where I want to be.
Right? Yeah, hauling ass. Because what do they go about? What 800 miles an hour, right?
Airplanes?
They're pretty close. It's more than a couple hundred. I think prop planes go like 180, 200.
Let's see how fast you.
I think it's not quite the sound barrier, so it's probably like 600 or 700, maybe. Wait, I'm trying to think. Let's see, what is it? It's 3,500. Yeah, it's got to be at least 600.
540 miles an hour.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
Well, that's for like the average, like you're flying the friendly skies kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just an average speed, so it's not necessarily some of them might go faster, some of them might go slower.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know prop planes are right around 180 to 200, I think. So I knew the jets had to fly significantly faster than that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why they need such a long ass fucking runway.
Yeah,
you're going 550 miles an hour. And you're descending, so your speed, as you lose height, you gain speed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as you're, it's going to pick up. They're probably coming in at close to 650, 700 miles an hour. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they definitely slam on the brakes there, man. It's been a while since I've flown, but I remember that deceleration pretty well. It kind of throws you forward a little bit.
Well, it probably depends on the airport.
Right.
Because I think some places have really long, runways, and some have really short. It just depends. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think I know we flew to Vegas once. Vegas, I would imagine, has a shorter runway, but or maybe not. Probably a lot of planes flying in and out of there.
Well, and not like they're up in the mountains with like very little area to build on.
Yeah, that's true. It's just fucking desert everywhere. Yeah, I know Sky Harbor's Phoenix Airport is it's one of the busiest because like California is a shitload of traffic, but there's also a shitload of fucking international airports there. And here it's pretty much that's one, and then the smaller one in Tucson.
Yeah,
it's actually one of the busiest airports, like definitely in the country. I think it's in top 5 for sure.
Oh wow, that makes sense. Yeah,
because it's definitely a hub city or whatever you want to call it, where there's a lot of connecting flights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Like San Francisco, that area's got a lot of international connecting flights. So there's a lot of places that come from other states to go to like San Francisco or LA, both those two airports, to go from there to like Japan and Europe and all sorts of places.
Yeah, or going back east like Detroit and Chicago are major. Almost always like flying back to New York. Like when we fly back to where we lived in New York before, it's almost always connecting through Detroit or Chicago.
Yeah, the big hubs, yeah.
Or anything down south is going to go through Atlanta. Like Atlanta's a major hub there. Like when I went to like Jacksonville has no. I went to rehab the first time in Jacksonville. I had to connect through Atlanta because Jacksonville has apparently no direct flights even now between Jacksonville and Phoenix.
Man, they don't fuck around with that rehab. They're like, we're gonna take you to Florida.
Yeah. Well, it was actually, that one was kind of weird. It was essentially like, I just looked it up online, and that was the first one that I called. And they were like, all right, can you afford your plane ticket? And I'm like, dude, if I had money for a plane ticket, I'm not calling you. I'm calling my fucking dealer. If I got that kind of fucking money. So they basically paid for it. Like, they paid for, well, I'm supposed to pay them back, but I don't think I ever did. But they're making money. They're making a shitload of money. I think for that one was like a 6-week program, which is longer than a lot of them. I think it was something like 50 grand per person for a 6-week program.
God damn, I'm in the wrong line of work.
Yeah, they fucking make a shitload of money, dude. Yeah,
that is intense. Yeah, we don't make anywhere near that kind. I think the clients pay about $1,300 a month in fees, program fees. So that covers like rent, food, and like we also take people on outings and you know, like take them out to movies and stuff here and there and that kind of thing. So covers a lot. And then I think we also get about the same from the state funding for each month. So that's really, I mean,
well, how are the clients paying for it? Is it like their family or something, or is
no? They're on Social Security, man. They're on Social Security.
All right.
Why we'll never collect Social Security is because it's being used for things like this instead of being used more appropriately for like they shouldn't call it Social Security. Like, it's not really disability in my mind. Like, shouldn't be linked.
Right.
Like, the disability should be an entirely different thing and come from an entirely different source, and Social Security should be left only for what it is.
Yeah, strictly for the retirement type shit.
Yeah. But
right.
Tough titty. We don't get to make that decision.
No. All right. I didn't win anything in Lucktastic today, but oh well. Dude, I actually started doing that. You don't have a smartphone, so you can't. But I like a week ago, I was like, fuck it, why don't I do this? I'm not doing anything. I'm not fucking working. So I started doing the Lucktastic. Are you familiar with it? It's basically like a virtual scratch tickets and shit. So you have to like watch it. Yeah, it's you have to watch like a little 30-second video or 15-second video, and then there's a little virtual scratch card where you scratch it off. And like I said, I started doing it like 5 or 6 days ago, and so far I've won $1.25 and about 23,000 tokens. Yeah. So the cool thing about it, and we're not sponsored, but I just think this thing's really cool. Not like they pay us with our fucking crowd anyway. Crowd size. Really. But yeah, even if you're not winning anything, like you're getting like tokens every time you do it, and they add up, and you can actually use that to fucking cash in for like gift cards and shit like that.
Well, that's not bad if you can actually end up with like a gift card out of the deal.
Yeah, like
essentially they're getting paid, and you're getting a portion of their money for the advertising to watch the ads. Essentially, is what I say.
Yeah, and people do actually win money. Again, like I said, I've actually won. I'm not. I don't know what the threshold is where you can cash it in, but I'm not cashing it in for a fucking $1.25. But yeah, no, they like every day there'll be like, here, scratch this one. You might win 1,000. You might win 2,500, 10,000. Some of them are as low as like $1 or whatever. That's why I have $1.25 because I won one of the fucking $1 scratchers. But yeah, like I want to, like for me, I'm gonna probably use the. I'm saving up for the my tokens for the GameStop gift card.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But they've got a bunch of different shit. Sorry, I talked about that way longer than I planned to, but yeah, anybody out there with a smartphone, do it. Why not?
It's like the lottery, except you're not throwing away your money.
Yeah, it doesn't cost a damn thing, dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a little data, but you're already paying for that for other things. Like you're not. It's probably data that you were not going to use over the course of the month anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm on Wi-Fi all the time anyway.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
That and the trivia ones. There's trivia games. There's one called HQ that I actually fucking missed. It starts at 1 o'clock. They do it at like 1 o'clock and like 7 o'clock every day. Or it'd be noon and 6 your time. But like each day there's like a $2,500 winner. So yeah, if you're not doing anything, fucking do it. Fucking try it.
Not?
Yeah.
Why not indeed?
Yeah. Although the questions, dude, like the first couple questions are always really fucking easy. But there's always like a good 8 to 10,000 people that get it wrong. They get them wrong. I'm like, did you just hit the wrong button, or are you really that fucking stupid?
No, there's a lot of people that are dumb as fuck, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the videos where they go around and just ask people like basic history questions.
Oh yeah, this is true. This is true. Like,
or even just
and I guess they're not aware of it.
What's the capital of the fucking state you're in right now?
Right.
Like these people live in whatever state and they don't know the fucking capital, and it's just like, look, I can dig that maybe you don't know the state of Alabama, right? Like because you don't live there. Although I think it's Birmingham. I could be wrong. Birmingham. Yeah, but I could be wrong. But Birmingham is the coat factory.
Right. That's Burlington. I'm going to correct you. Come on, keep going.
But like, if you live in Alabama and you don't know the fucking state capital, it's Montgomery. Okay, Montgomery, Alabama. But like, it's like I live in California.
I would have got that wrong too.
Yeah. But I live in California, and I know this is the capital of Sacramento. But you get people who are like, is it LA? Is it San Francisco? And you're like, how the fuck do you not know the capital of the state you live in?
Yeah. Or New York's a similar one where, like, you would think out of state, you're probably going to assume it's New York City, but it's not. It's fucking Albany. But again,
I knew it wasn't
New York
City. I didn't know it was Albany.
That's tragic.
Yeah, I didn't know it was Albany. I knew it wasn't New York though. New York just thinks it's the capital.
Yeah. Well, it's the de facto capital, I guess. But yeah, Albany's a little more because New York City is
capital.
Right. But yeah, New York City is way on the far eastern, on the fucking coast. So I think they just have it there in Albany because it's more centrally located. It's in the center of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, historically, Albany was probably the bigger town.
Yeah.
New York was just a bunch of swampland. It ended up getting as big as it did because it had one of the major ports that the people were coming in from were immigrating to.
Right.
That's why New York got as big as it was, not for any other reason. It's not like well located. It's not. There's no real benefit to having it there.
Yeah, it's just got a really nice port.
Yeah, it's got a really nice port. That's all it really has. So I was gonna say, in fact, it actually ends up costing a lot of money to like bring produce and stuff into New York a lot because it's so far away from any of the good farms and any other resources.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of dairy farms upstate, but there's not a lot of actual produce farms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's fucking freezing in wintertime. Jesus Christ.
Well, I can't imagine wanting to live in New York. Like, I'm sure glad that there's a lot of people that like it and good for them, but
no, it would drive me crazy, dude.
Oh, man.
Just that massive humanity, dude. Holy shit. Yeah.
Exactly. It'd just be like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah, I could live in Phoenix and the metro area here. That's as far as big cities go, it's not too much of a hassle.
Oh man, the city I'm in right now is almost for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really thinking I need to move to somewhere where there's a lot less people. But then, I know I'm crazy to a certain extent. I have some issues.
Yeah, no, I actually like where I live now because it's Phoenix isn't that far away. Like we're about 40 minutes away from the south edge of Phoenix. So it's close enough where the big city, it's right there, but we're far enough away where we're not dealing with, shitty traffic or any of that kind of shit.
Yeah, we used to be that golden zone where I'm at. It's not that way anymore. So like if I go out and do the grocery shopping after like 9 a.m., the parking lots are all packed.
Oh wow. Yeah, see here, there's the only time that really happens is I think it's like the first Wednesday. There's one day a month where the senior citizens get a 10% discount.
Yeah,
like that's the only time when we get a huge amount of traffic.
And I bet you also like in the evening, like between 5 and 6 and 7, because that's when everybody's getting off work.
Yeah, but even that is really not that bad. It's not bad at all. You know, like I'm usually going to find a spot within like, 7 or 8 spots of the, being right up next to it, next to the building.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not bad at all.
Whereas here it's like, and then you go in the store, it's the worst. There's all these people that just sort of stand there blocking shit.
Right.
Like if it's you and your buddy shopping, you don't need to stand next to each other and block the entire aisle like a couple of assholes.
Yeah.
People shouldn't have to ask you to move.
Yeah, you should be aware of your surroundings in a when you're in a store, dude.
Yeah, I was sitting in line today getting the groceries this morning because I always go as early as possible just to fucking avoid as much of the frustration as possible.
Right.
And this fucking lady was just wandering around with fucking like in and out of like people's way constantly. So fucking rude. Like we're in line and she just starts randomly backing into the only line of space where people can get by. Not for any reason. She's not even looking at it. She's just backing into it to just block fucking cart traffic.
Yeah, that's amazing. People, like I said, that are that unself-aware, dude. They're just
it's
that
rude.
Oblivious.
It's fucking rude, man.
Yeah. It's like I'm the only person that in this fucking universe. None of the rest of you actually exist. Yeah.
It's like if you don't block, if you follow, in a line, like I don't know these people that take like 6 kids with them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with those people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I rarely bring even my one kid with me.
I mean, I totally.
The only reason I do that is because he's a little shy around. He gets. I'm kind of trying to get him acclimated to being around large groups like that because he's always a little. Because I was the same way, social anxiety kind of shit.
I think kids should go to the store. I just don't know why you would take 6 of them at once and then not pay attention to a single one of them.
Yeah, just let them run wild and shit. Yeah.
So that you're just literally like, you're in the produce section with you and your 6 kids and nobody else can buy anything in the produce section because they're fucking monsters. Running around, getting in everybody's fucking way.
Yeah. No, I'm amazed at how little attention they pay. Like, dude, it's not that hard to manage your kids, man. It requires a little effort, dude. Just a little bit of effort, man.
Yeah, I mean, there was one guy, and because some people take their kids and they're fine. Like, there's no big deal. They keep an eye on their kids. Their kids are paying attention to what's going on, and they're not getting in the way. But like, I was pulling into a spot, and the guy pulled in right. The guy in front of me pulled into one spot, and then there was another spot right next to him that I was going to pop into. And his kid got out, and like before I could pull in, his kid just like jumped out, and I'm like, all right, so I'll wait. Even though there was probably room, I could have pulled in without being too worried about hitting the kid. I just figured I'll give it a minute. And the guy looks over at me and he's got this look on his face like, why is that guy waiting? And then he's fucking this look of like, oh no. He runs over and grabs the kid. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, nah, dude, don't even stress. Like, no big deal. But like, he actually was, concerned about, oh yeah, this is being impolite.
Yeah, but most people would just a lot of people nowadays would still just fucking not tell their kid anything. Just let them fucking stand there like a dumbass.
I've seen people sit there blocking like the parking spot next to them because they just leave their door open and hang out in their fucking hang out in their car with their fucking door hanging open to block a space.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I assume just to be an asshole, but
yeah, just oblivious. Yeah, they're not necessarily doing it deliberately. They just are an asshole, who's not aware of their surroundings because they're that self-absorbed most of the time. So it's not really a deliberate act. It's more of a that's just the way they are.
I prefer to think of it as a deliberate act.
To
justify like how much I want to like fucking beat them to death.
Yeah, it could be. You know, I'm speculating. So
no, you have the rational response. I totally understand. I just
man.
For me, it's like I need to park a certain distance away because I don't want to deal with the fucking back pain. Because like I can get through like the trip inside shopping. And it's just like if I got to walk a super long distance to get to my car, it just hurts that much more. It's like I'm just trying to ration out. Like, can I get closer so that I have less distance to walk with this, fucking pain?
So your back's actually got to be worse than mine because I can actually handle that okay. I just can't do stuff over an extended period. Like I can actually lift heavy shit. I just can't do more than like once or twice a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can stand up and do stuff for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that, it starts to hurt. And if it's any, and then I need to sit down for a couple minutes and wait before I get back up and do stuff for like another 15, 20 minutes.
So does just walking around fucks with your back?
Yeah, just walking around hurts.
Wow. Okay. See, I can still walk.
Stuff I've explained to my doctor. My doctor's just like, "Oh, well, maybe we'll consider giving you some ibuprofen gel to rub in."
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. Have you the steroid injections?
Well, that's part of what I think the meloxicam does. Is it reduces inflammation and kills pain.
Yeah, because I remember getting those shots and they actually work pretty well, man. Like they last like a good 6 months.
Yeah, I'd totally be down for that. My doctor won't give me anything.
Oh wow.
She'll just be like, "Oh well, you need to lose weight," and it's like, "Well, how am I supposed to lose weight? I can't work out."
Yeah.
Well, you need to eat healthy. That's fucking. I am eating healthy, you stupid cunt. Do you not understand? Yeah. Like, if you don't work out, you don't burn calories. Like, it's just fucking blows my mind. So I gotta switch my doctor or contact an attorney at some point. I think ultimately I'm probably gonna have to contact an attorney and just file like a lawsuit because I'm pretty sure at this point, like I've gone in and talked to them enough times about back pain, and they've refused to do anything. That I probably have a reasonable case at this point for just neglect.
Right.
Because I pay for medical insurance. Like they have a legal obligation to treat my issues. So I don't know what's going on. I think it's this opiate thing that they're like, oh, well, we can't give the guy any real painkillers.
Yeah, they're labeling you as drug seeking or something.
Potentially. Or it just could be that, the state laws are so insane that they're worried that they're going to end up
getting in trouble.
Getting in trouble because I'm only 37. So, and it's like, despite the fact that I've broken several vertebrae, so it's not like there's no real clear evidence of like, no, this is fucking real. Like it's not like I'm just going in there. Oh, my back is so sore. It's like, no, I previously broken my back in multiple places. It's fucking treatment.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, the people that actually are hooked are fucking getting the fucking shit. You know what I mean? Because they know how to fucking, be deceptive and get it.
Well, ultimately, my goal would be to get the pain medication and use it to get to the point where I've lost enough weight and strengthened the muscles enough, hopefully, that I don't really need to take it on a regular basis. That the only time I'd ever really need to take something is when I like really pull my back or do something real stupid and put it out or something kind of thing.
Yeah, you actually like wrench your back doing too much because I'll do that every once in a while.
Today, even now, move, and now I wrenched my back and I need to take one of my pain pills. Whereas, but most days I wouldn't need to take any at all because that'd be I don't really want to take opiates every day. That just doesn't sound real fun to me.
Right. Yeah. Well, it can be real fun for a while.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I understand. I don't get any of those positive side effects. It's just,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm looking at the long-term damage to liver and kidneys, and
yeah, and apparently, occasionally people will go deaf even from taking the fucking some of these opiates, like as prescribed. Apparently, that happens, dude. People just fucking end up going deaf. Yeah, it's a pretty, really small sample size, but there are people that tend to, like, not even abusing it, just taking like 1 or 2 Vicodin, and fucking they end up going deaf.
Oh well, thank God that won't be me, because I've taken Vicodin, Percocet for like dental stuff. So
yeah, no, like I said, it's pretty rare, but I thought that was crazy. I'm like, so it's not even the people that are abusing it; it's people that are just taking it, 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the benefits outweigh the risks. It's the benefit outweighs the risk. There'd be people that, like, if it's like less than 0.1% of people, compare that to like how many people are in agony from, getting their wisdom teeth pulled, or a surgery, or whatever, they broke a leg or an arm.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of understand where that's coming from to a certain extent, obviously.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's pretty rare, but it definitely apparently does happen.
Yeah.
That's a side effect for you. You might go deaf if you take this.
Well, if I can stop the fucking ringing in my ear, because I'm not willing to make that fucking choice. Can I just go deaf?
You won't hear. Yeah, you won't hear anything at all. Definitely not any ringing.
I'll be like, sweet.
That's a fair trade-off. Infernal ringing in my ears.
Well, apparently that doesn't work. A lot of people want there's a lot of people who will get to the point where they'll ask a doctor, like, can you just deafen the ear that the ringing is from? I'd rather be deaf.
Right.
And the doctors have to be like, that doesn't necessarily work. People have done that. They've deafened themselves and still hear the ringing, but just nothing else.
Wow. Yeesh. That's awful, man.
God, that would be the worst. That'd be so fucking terrible.
Okay, I can't hear anything else, but this fucking ringing won't stop. Yeah, that would be really fucking tough to deal with.
I think at that point, suicide would be like, I wouldn't necessarily hold that against anybody. I'd be like, I get
go
it.
Fucking crazy. It seems like you'd go fucking crazy if all again, you can't hear anything else, but the stupid ringing is still happening. Yeah, you'd fucking lose your mind, dude. And yeah, killing yourself would definitely be. I wouldn't blame anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I would not be like, oh no, that's so sad. I'd be like, yeah, I kind of understand. He made a choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
that sad. Is a shitty quality of life.
I miss the person, but at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, but it was pretty hellish.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I wish the guy didn't have go that, feel, that shitty. But yeah, I totally understand that.
Good Lord, that is just such a terrifying thing.
Yeah, indeed. Dude, did you watch any of the Oscars?
No, I didn't watch any of the Oscars.
Apparently, I didn't watch it either. I guess it was the lowest rated in like fucking I don't know how long, maybe ever.
Yeah,
but it was 20% less than last year. Yeah, it was 20, something like 20% it was last year, and last year's was one of the lowest, if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly. I was watching some of it because.
I was going to say, it's like they don't get that rich people giving each other like fucking awards, and then basically dismissing and talking shit about like most of the country is not a real fucking recipe for success.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking. I was watching part of it, well, not actually live, but I think I've mentioned the Galactic Bubble Productions on here before. Byro from Galactic Bubble Productions. He was doing a thing at the Oscars. I don't know if you ever watched any of his stuff. I think he's fucking hilarious.
No, I don't think I have.
Poor dude only has like 6,000. Dude, he's fucking genius, dude. This shit's fucking hilarious. But anyway, he was doing the Oscars, and I was watching little clips of it. and big deal about Frances McDormand's her speech was, and I was like, she seems like a fucking crazy cat. Like she looks and sounds like a crazy cat lady. Fuck is going on? Yeah, and then like who was it? Jodie Foster and Jennifer Lawrence came out to do a presentation of whatever award it was, and I was like, it seems like they're deliberately trying to look like I was looking at Jennifer Lawrence, and I'm like, that looks like a fucking tranny. That looks like a fucking male to female tranny.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was fucking weird, dude. And holy shit, was it not funny? Like the fucking jokes, I was like, did you guys fire the writers and think that you could just wing it yourselves and be funny? Like that was literally the fucking thought in my head. Like, this is awful. Like, there's no way you have writers this shitty. Yeah. Like, you guys are actors. Everyone's laughing, so I guess there was quite a bit of acting going on because everyone was laughing like it was fucking hilarious. And the jokes were just goddamn awful. Jokes.
Yeah. One of the search results is Jennifer Lawrence nude photo. It's like NUID instead of NUDE.
Mm.
You know, an autofill thing.
Oh, right.
So I'm searching for her outfit.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the silver
Jennifer
dress?
Lawrence Oscars?
Yeah, the Oscars.
Let me see if I can pull it up just with that.
Here we go. Let me show you what I got because I already pulled it up. So is this that?
All right.
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, you kind of have to see her. It was weird because she's apparently really tall, or Jodie Foster's really short because she has like over a foot on her, on Jodie Foster. All right, yeah. See if we can pull that up closer. Well, try to pull it up with them two together.
That's what I was gonna do.
Let me see. Yeah. Because that was kind of, yeah. Yeah, you should be able to get a good image of that. See if we can get one. Yeah, one over here on the right. Yeah, that one might show what I was talking about. Does she not look kind of like a tranny?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the makeup and the greasy looking hair.
Yeah. I didn't even recognize Lawrence. I literally was, wow, they've got a fucking.
Well, it looks like Jodie Lawrence is on like crutches or something.
Oh yeah, it was a stupid bit. They made some reference to saying Meryl Streep fucking hit her. It was bullshit. It was fake. She really did have crutches. Yeah, you're not imagining that, dude. That was the gag.
Oh, here we go. Here's
holy
a clear
shit,
picture.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, it was like a reference to Tanya Harding, dude. Like, you know, the thing that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Meryl Streep. Give me
the thing, you know, saying, a little bit. A little bit tranny.
Yeah, she looks. Yeah, dude. Pull up, dude. Look up Frances McDormand. You don't need to necessarily hear her wacky speech, but she, again, to me, looked like a crazy cat lady. You know how to spell that one? Well,
apparently a lot of people have looked.
Yeah. What's up?
I'm switching to images.
Frances McDormand Oscars.
Oh, yeah. Let me share this. I see exactly what you mean. Good Lord. She does. She looks exactly like a crazy cat lady. Like there are 100 cats.
Actually, I don't even know if that's from this year. I don't remember that was what she was wearing. Hold on.
I don't even know if that was. It doesn't matter. She still looks.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that was even. She just always looked like a crazy cat lady, and I didn't realize it. No, not video.
Is that the outfit?
Hold on, I'm just looking through. No, it was like a greenish, like a pale green.
She looks like a crazy cat lady in all of these photos. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of. Yeah.
Oh, is it this one?
Different.
No, these are the SAG awards. Frances McDormand just looks like a crazy cat lady.
Yeah. No, it was. I'm trying to. I don't see it there anywhere. What the fuck? That's weird. What you do for a search?
Frances McDormand, Oscars 2018.
Huh. All right, that's weird. Yeah, mine pulled it up.
Is this it?
Leave off the 28. Maybe leave off the 2018 because. Yeah.
Is this the?
No, none of those are. That's fucking. That's bizarre.
That's fucking funny because
leave off the 2018. Just do Frances McDormand Oscars. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So you see the pale. Yeah. That was it.
Dude, I don't think the outfit matters.
That's actually kind of flattering.
Like she's got 100 cats at her house.
Yeah.
Like she just looks like a crazy cat lady.
Yeah. Yeah. To steal a Greg Giraldo line, she looks like she. And even that picture you pulled up is kind of flattering compared to a lot of the other ones, dude.
Yeah. I missed.
She looks almost normal.
Oh, I'm getting you cutting in and out.
Oh shit! Yeah, can you hear me now?
It seems to be coming through now. I mean, carry on.
Really, all right.
There's nothing I can do. I don't think there's anything you can do either. It's just sometimes the internet sucks a little bit for a few moments.
Okay, but it's working okay now.
We're clear as a bell now.
All right.
We didn't have an audience.
There was some weird clicking.
Oh, was there weird clicking on my end? I got to stop playing with knives.
No, I was saying because I was kind of like typing shit and kind of moving stuff around. So maybe they're getting.
I hear typing sounds, but that's not a weird clicking. That's a typing sound. That's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing is,
I think people assume there's going to be typing at some point or another.
Well, no, the other thing is I have it on this little wooden stool, and it's slightly off balance, like it's slightly unbalanced. So anytime I touch the computer, it starts rocking and doing that. So I'm thinking maybe it was picking up that and fucking with, the voice coming through.
Oh,
no, I know you guys have commented on it before. It took me a while to realize what it was because I can't even hear it with the earphones in my ear. But again, with the mic being so sensitive.
With the roboting, it's very different from like something else taking over the mic. No, it's just like you're talking and then it just stops. Right in the middle, and then you go again. It's like you can't.
Right. So it's just got to be the internet being.
Yeah, wacky. It's just nothing we can do. It's just a spike, like a lag spike.
Yeah. Very well then.
Yep. Man, so there's a new game that I pre-ordered that I cannot wait to play now. It's Sea of Thieves.
What's that?
Sea of Thieves. You get to be a pirate. And fucking
Sea of Thieves.
It's all online. It's all online multiplayer stuff. And like you can pick. You can either do like a small boat with like either you run it by yourself or with like one other person. And then there's like a big boat which you can do with like 3 or 4 people. And you run around and you find treasure and turn it in for like rewards. But everybody that you interact with, aside from the people that give or receive quests, are other players.
Oh,
right. It's super like cartoony looking, which is super fun. And the mechanics are really basic. So it's, like you got to turn the sails and raise and lower the sails. You got to like drive the boat. And then, if you get attacked or there's damage to your boat, you got to go down and repair it with like a piece of wood. And then you fire cannonballs at other people and shit. I mean, that's pretty much it. And you dig up treasures.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Sounds interesting.
It looks like an excuse to just talk like a pirate the whole time.
Right.
Like no matter how many people you're playing against, like, we be ready to board the enemy ship, Captain. Like just that for like hours on end. Like no reason.
This will never get old.
I'm already studying all the nautical terms. Like the 4 quarters and the starboard and port and aft and what is it? Forward and And then what are the rear quarters? It's like the four quarters, like the 4-quarter starboard and 4-quarter port are like, the in between starboard and aft, or starboard and forward, and port and forward.
No, starboard and port left and right, and fore and aft are front and back, I think.
Well, port is left, starboard is right.
Yeah.
Forward is the front, and then aft is the rear. But then the aft starboard quarter is like, between starboard and fore and aft or something like that. I don't know. There's like other directions.
Yeah, it's kind of like northeast or southwest. It's like the equivalent of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to memorize all that stuff, as well as like the sailing, the actual sailing terms for like the sails and changing the direction of the boat and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Practice screaming out, "Batten down the hatches."
Batten down the hatches, laddies. We are going to be riding straight through the storm.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I plan to watch how many people can tolerate before they just kick me out. Just
crazy. Dude, watch Dodgeball, the movie Dodgeball. That pirate character in there.
Oh, I didn't know there was a pirate character in Dodgeball. I've never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he thinks he's a pirate, or he acts like a pirate or whatever. But it's funny. I'll make a deal with you, matey. True as the North Star.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Reference that to a lot of shows. Yeah. All these fucking 12-year-olds playing the game. What the fuck are you talking about? Jesus, shut up, man. Oh man, I just think the game would be so much more fun if you're talking like a pirate the whole time.
Yeah, that'd be fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, I want to see if it's viable. Like you can get this, the treasures, and you don't get robbed all the time to play on your own.
Mm.
So as I'm sinking other boats, I can be like, I sunk your tub, you scurvy dog. Sail it at Davy Jones on your way down.
Yeah.
It's like, I stole your treasure, and I'm going to steal your grog and your women next. Just fucking make it ridiculous.
See how long they can tolerate you.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, if you're playing with a group of people, so say you got 4 people and you're on one of the bigger boats, they can all vote and put you in the brig. So that's their way of dealing with people that are just shitty players or screwing over their own team. You can literally put a jail cell in the bottom of your boat for 5 minutes.
Nice.
It's that's actually kind of cool. You can actually kick them off the crew if you really want. But you can actually just put them in the brig for, as long as you want, if it's what it takes to get them to not be jerks.
Yeah, so you can give them a little timeout and see if they act right.
Exactly. I can't wait. It sounds so fun.
Yeah.
I got to figure out some good strategies though, because there's multiple things going on, and I think a lot of people aren't going to recognize.
Right.
So the big boat has 4 cannons on each side, 3 sets of sails, and all 3 sets of sails you can raise and lower, and you can angle to catch the wind. Plus, you have an anchor that you can drop, and you can actually stop with the anchor, or you can actually crank the steering wheel all the way over, because like a real boat, it doesn't immediately turn like like a car or something would. And then drop the anchor and do an e-brake turn.
Drifting.
Spin the boat around or spin it to one side or the other side. Kind of drift a little bit.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
The smaller boat only has 1 cannon on each side and 1 sail, but it's way quicker and more maneuverable than the big boat. So to kind of balance it out, I think they probably should have given it 2 cannons on each side, but I think if you do it right, you can use the smaller boat to greater effect, because there's going to be a lot of people that just don't pay attention to the wind direction and pay attention to how many shots you've landed because they've got a bigger boat. I think there's going to be too many people that aren't really on top of all the things that could go wrong with the bigger boat. It might actually be easier to play with the smaller boat.
Yeah, although they usually do a pretty good job of balancing that kind of shit, and it's more of a like personal play style. It might work better, with the smaller boat for some people, the bigger boat for others. Yeah.
Well, the thing I'm thinking is you can maneuver the smaller boat so much quicker and more easily. You can stay out of where they fire ridiculously well. Like unless they're unless they're really, really good, you can really easily stay out of where they can shoot.
Right,
but you can still shoot them.
Hard for them to. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but you can swoop in and take a shot out pretty quickly.
Yeah, because you're so much smaller, you can swoop in and take a shot, cross cross in front of them or behind them, and shoot it there. Below the water line on the front or rear of the boat.
Right,
it'd be much simpler.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
And then something that I don't think anybody's done so far is the bigger boat has, it has a bottom, middle, and top deck. Mm-hmm. So you can put holes above the water line, but it doesn't sink the ship because there's no water to sink in. But I'm wondering if you put a bunch of holes in the middle and then put like 2 or 3 holes in the bottom, if they're not right on top of it, once it hits that middle, they're just going to drop like a rock.
Yeah. Like you put one in the bottom and it starts filling up, and then you had all those holes in the middle, and it gets that low, and then it just whoosh.
Suddenly instead of having like 2 or 3 places to repair, they got like 10. Exactly. Right. So it's exponentially quicker.
Yeah.
Like lull them into a false sense of security, thinking that you're a really bad player, and then suddenly you pepper the bottom line, and they just drop like a rock.
They're like, we're not sinking at all from this guy. This guy sucks. And then you hit the bottom, and it just bam.
Exactly. And then it's suddenly like, all those holes we didn't fix while we had the time are suddenly working way against us.
They're like, it's in the middle. We can repair that after the battle.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So that was, I assume you play pretty much everything on PC, right?
It's also available on Xbone. Yeah. It is going to be like an Xbox One and PC exclusive.
Okay.
So only for Windows and only for Xbox One. And I think only for Windows 10, actually.
Yeah, that's cool. I almost prefer the cartoony style now to the super realistic shit.
I think it depends on the kind of game. You know what I mean? Like, I really like the more realistic, gritty style with the the Fallout style games.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's just true.
But for like the adventure stuff, like Skyrim was a lot of fun, but I think I would have preferred it to be a little more cartoony, if I'm being honest.
Right. No, I can see that. Yeah, although the Fortnite game, I don't know if you are familiar with Fortnite, but that one's pretty cartoony. But they actually did a graphics thing to make it a little less, and I was like, dude, that was kind of part of the charm.
That's the one where you build defenses and you got to shoot the other guy
basically it's a battle royale kind of thing. There's different modes, but like one of them is there's 100 players. It's this weird Airbus thing. Like it's literally a bus with like fucking balloons above it, right? And it goes across the map, and you can jump out whenever you want. You go down, and all you start with is essentially like a big pickaxe. And then you can gather shit to build with, like with brick or wood or that kind of things. And you got to find like you don't even start with a gun. Like all you have is just the axe, and you got to find guns and shit like that. But and then you could build up, like walls, ramps, floors, that kind of shit. Because there'll be spots like where you, like there's a cliff in front of you, and you can just build up, a ramp, or whatever, a diagonal piece, and build all the way up to climb up that thing instead of having to go all the way around or that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I've seen that online. Yeah, I've seen people play that. It sounds
my son plays it a lot.
I want to say PUBG.
Yeah, PUBG is it's essentially a kind of a knockoff of PUBG.
Yeah, just more cartoonish and like a lot sillier weapons. I've seen people use a Go grenade. And then suddenly, like, a disco ball appears and your character grows a fro, and then you gotta fucking dance for like a few seconds before you can do something.
Yeah, what is it called? It's something. I don't think it's Disco Grenade. I think it's something bomb. What the hell is it?
Disco bomb.
What was it?
Is it Disco Bomb or like Groovy Bomb or something like that?
Oh, Boogie Bomb. That's what it is. Boogie Bomb. Yeah, where they literally have to start dancing, so you can just fucking hit them with that, and then you can fucking essentially just shoot them while they're dancing because they can't do anything else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I saw one where a guy got hit with 2 of those, and the guy was such a bad shot that he still didn't get him. Yeah. And the guy was just jumping all over the place and dodging and weaving, and he was just like, "God, you're awful." Like, I almost feel bad, but I'm gonna kill you anyway when this wears off. You know, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, my son's actually really good at it. Like, he's consistently in the like the last 4 or 5. You know, he's won quite a few times too. And playing against 100 people, like, you know, that's not bad. That's really fucking
those are
good.
Tough games. I played PUBG a few times. I'm fucking awful at that.
Yeah, I think one time I finished like 11th. Like, that's the best I haven't played it much at all. I probably only played like 20 rounds total. But still, like, the best I ever finished was like 11th. And even then, I only killed like 2 people. And it was just a matter of me not running across anybody. That's the only reason I lasted that long. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually pretty fun, man.
If I can respawn, I do well on the games. But when it's just 1 life and you're done, I'm not terribly good. Although then again, PUBG had such a steep learning curve.
Yeah,
like, there's so many things that it doesn't explain to you how to do things. Like, there wasn't any.
Yeah, you just gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so I'm dying now, and I've got like a first aid kit and bandages, but it doesn't tell me how to fucking do anything with that.
Yeah. It's almost like you just have to trial and error and figure it out. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which for me is like, look, if I'm going to invest like an hour in playing a game and then I'm going to die because the game is just too complicated, then I'm not going to fucking play the game.
Right.
I'm not interested. If there's like a walkthrough where I can go through and play like, you know, a little while and just learn the basics, you know, just as like a optional thing, you know, sure, make it optional, but give me the option, man.
Yeah, that is a little weird. Yeah, they should definitely have some kind of tutorial, you know, telling you what the fuck you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Maybe there was, and I somehow missed it. I don't know. But I don't own the game. There was like a free trial or something I played for a couple days.
Oh, gotcha.
So maybe if you're playing the free trial, you don't get the walkthrough. I couldn't say for sure.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they're like, everybody knows how to play this already anyway. Fuck the tutorial.
Yeah.
They're just making poor assumptions like that.
Yeah, well, they've got... Oh, pardon me. They've got a lot of similar games where it's like a survive as long as you can each time you spawn in game.
Oh, right.
H1Z1 or something like that, and a couple others where like you can respawn, you just respawn from ground zero every time. So every time your character dies, you have to get a new character. You don't get to save any of the cool shit you had. And so I wonder if it's because basically it's the same mechanics with just a slightly different goal. If they assume.
Yeah. Although, yeah, you can do, I don't know, it's probably the same as Fortnite, but yeah, you can actually get squads together, like 2, 3, or 4 player squads. Yeah.
Well, if I had a group of people I played like those kind of games with, I'd be down. But I don't play those kind of games enough to know any of the people that play them really.
Yeah, no, my son has his, you know, his fucking school buddies to play with. But yeah, for me, I just can play solo all the time. Yeah, and I suck at it. Like, I watch him play and watch him like fucking like seamlessly switching over to the building, because you're either holding the gun or you're holding the pickaxe and you're able to build. Like, you can't hold the gun and build. Him like seamlessly switch over from holding a gun to building a fucking fort in like 2 seconds. I'm like, holy fuck, dude! How the fuck do you do it that fast? I'm like, oh shit! Now I know what my dad felt like when I was trying to show him how to play these games. Holy fuck, dude! This kid's schooling me. Little brat. Find some reason to fucking.
Like VR chat, there's all these people that know how to make like characters and fucking build worlds and shit. And they act like almost like an elite class.
Oh, right.
Like in the game, like they not all of them, but some of them act like they're like better. Like I've also seen people who are like, oh well, they should just shut the game off to anybody who doesn't have VR stuff too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of funny, but
elitist. There's always elitist pricks wherever you go.
Yeah. I thought that was the funnier one. I'm like, yeah, let's make the game that's super successful and blowing up less successful immediately.
All right.
Let's just make everybody angry.
Yeah, the thing that people playing it without VR are going to be encouraged or are going to be more likely to actually buy the VR to enjoy the game better. Oh, yeah, let's cut them out completely.
Yeah, I would say VR chat is actually probably driving VR sales more than any other game right now.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking.
Because like, how many other VR games do you even know about? Like, that you've even heard about? I know I haven't heard shit about any of them.
Yeah, me neither, man. Yeah.
And I'm sure they don't advertise, but there's several other VR games out there.
Yeah,
have been for a couple years.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of how it worked with you, right? Like, how much interest you have in getting a VR headset before playing the VR chat?
Oh, like none, really. Oh.
Yeah, and then after, you really wanted to get one, right?
Exactly. I played VR chat, and I'm like, oh, wow, so the tech is really worth it. Seeing how other people were using it and being like, oh, this could be a lot of fun. And then you see, like, oh, and there's also all these other VR games to play. Like there's a virtual reality build of, like, Minecraft. Nice. So that might actually make Minecraft fun again. Like I can go through and play Minecraft again and actually enjoy it because it's a whole different perspective.
Yeah, it does sound pretty interesting, man.
Or like there's a lot of shooter games right now. There's some puzzle games. There's a bunch of games out there for it.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting point, which I assume it's coming, but where they can get to the point where you're kind of like on a I don't know how this would work, but where you could actually run and still be in the same room, like almost like a treadmill, but like a multi-directional treadmill kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? They do have those?
Yeah, because we're like, essentially it's like a treadmill that goes any direction. Omnidirectional is what they call it, I believe. And it has a big, about waist high or a little higher ring that goes around it. So even if you do manage to run off of it, like you'll hit the ring, you won't like just fall off the thing. And you can use that to just something to catch you and how fast and all that in the game.
Yeah.
I told you about
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised that already exists, I guess. But
well, now I told you that they're building the VR suit, right?
Oh yeah, we talked about it last time. Yeah,
and that's going to have like resistance and the ability to tell textures. So I mean, everything is leading up to the point where like we're going to have online virtual hookers, really.
Yeah, finally.
I'm real curious. I'm genuinely curious how that's going to be. Because if you're doing it virtually, like you don't even like she doesn't have to have anything actually penetrating her.
Yeah. I'd like to see how they're going to try to make that illegal.
Yeah, you can just be some lonely dude who puts on a suit and a fucking pair of goggles, little headphones in there and a microphone, and then straps a little fucking gadget onto your dick. Go online, you pay some chick like $50, and then you have virtual sex with her. She could just be chilling out with like the goggles and the suit and not actually even have any, like it wouldn't even affect her physically. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah. It'll be interesting. It seems like something like that is going to have a pretty significant impact on society and relationships, dude.
Yeah, well, exactly. Or you could have a long term. You could even like it could be a long distance relationship, and you could both hook yourselves up and bang from, one of you be in New York, one of you be in like L.A.
Yeah. Interesting shit, man. Well, think about it. Just the prevalence of the easily availability of porn nowadays is affecting relationships. You know what I mean? As affecting like people's views of relationships and that kind of thing. So yeah, something like that is going to have a pretty profound impact, I would imagine.
Well, for instance, I think in that realm would be things like face fucking. Like I'm not from a generation that would ever think like, man, that's real hot to just grab the woman by the fucking sides of her head and fuck her mouth like really hard until she's like throwing up and gagging and shit.
Yeah, it seems pretty fucking
apparently
awful.
There's more and more people who are like, oh no, that seems like appropriate, normal sexual behavior. That they've seen on porn, because porn just goes more and more extreme all the time.
Yeah, that's to me, that just seems like an awful thing to do. Jamming your cock in the fucking throat and making them throw up.
That's what I'm saying.
Out of the face.
Blowjobs are awesome. Blowjobs are awesome. Right. And if a chick has worked herself up to be able to deep throat, that's even cooler.
Right. But I'm going to sit still and enjoy it. I'm not going to ram my cock down her throat.
I could see, moving around and stuff. I just don't see the like vicious ramming of things.
Yeah.
Where, like, she's not into it too. Like I don't know how I get that.
Yeah, it's awful, dude. It's a fucking, to me, it's just a horrible thing to do, man. You know? Oh, yeah, it's like you were saying, dude. If a woman's nice enough to suck your cock in her mouth and throat, be nice, dude. Be respectful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, and again, there's always been those people who want head but won't give head. So on both sides.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. Yeah, if you're not willing to give, you don't deserve to get.
Yeah, if you're not gonna eat pussy or suck dick, you shouldn't have whatever you've got eaten or sucked or any of that. That's not. That shouldn't be how that works.
Yeah, that's just.
I'd be curious to see how that plays out in the real world, like as a dude, like from a dude's perspective, or even from a chick's perspective. Be like, oh man, you just spent like an hour eating my pussy. But I'm not going to be sucking your dick. Nah, I just
I just don't do that. I didn't mention it before, but I don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you fucking bitch.
Or vice versa. Like you just fucking took a load in the mouth, but I'm pretty much done now. I don't go down.
Yeah. Fuck your needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has got to be a weird fucking conversation. Just
like really. I get your fucking jizz dripping out of my mouth, and you're not gonna fucking go down on me. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, didn't Louis C.K. have something like that?
Genders.
There was a Louis C.K. show episode where it was a chick, right? And he like, or she went down on him, even though he didn't want her to.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, I'm not going to go down on you. And so she pulled a fucking gun on him.
Yes, dude. They were like in the truck. Yeah. That was and fucking nuts. Afterwards,
dude. He's like, I feel so violated. She's like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? You thought you were going to get free head and you weren't going to have to go down on me? Like, the fuck's wrong with you? Didn't he eventually agree? Like at a certain point, he was just like, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you're right. That is a fucked up thing to do.
Yeah. It was fucking. Yeah. Oh, man.
It should always be a 69, just to be fair. Anytime you're going down on a chick, she should be blowing you.
No. I'm not into the nose and the asshole thing. Not everybody is going to be as clean as you want them to be necessarily.
Yeah.
Also, some people relax; they just pass a little gas. You don't want your nose in their butthole, or somebody else's nose in your butthole. And when that happens, really,
right? Yeah, I would have to. I like to think I've never had that happen on either side, me or the other person. But I would imagine you'd be at least respectful to say, "Hey, look out! I'm gonna squeeze one out. We need to switch. Get the fuck away from the danger zone."
I've never had it happen, but my thought is they're so embarrassed about it happening at all that they're thinking they can hold it in
when they can't.
And then it just slips out because they really can't. Yeah.
Right.
And so up until the very second that it happens, they're completely convinced, no, I can hold back that fucking fart.
Yeah. My butthole's tight enough to hold this back. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Did you agree with my potato? Oh, and I said potato posse. What was the one you said for renaming the Town Factory?
Oh, yeah. Mine was Potato Head Mafia.
Potato Head Mafia. I fucking love it. Oh, man. Yeah, the Potato Head Mafia.
Yeah, they have actually, even if it's jokingly, they have said shit like never go against the family. Like, some of them have said shit like that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just wanted to mention because so I saw there's like a silly thing going back and forth between some of the people on Twitter talking about boneless versus bone-in chicken wings.
Oh yeah.
Like having and it's obvious they're not serious. Like they're just having a joke argument over like bone or boneless.
Right.
And, fucking some dude who's apparently was a fan of Tonka Saws tweeted him like, "Hey, what are you going to weigh in on this incredibly important topic about bone-in or boneless wings?" And the Tonka just blocked him.
Wow.
And he was like, "The fuck is wrong with you? Like, who blocks a fan for a fucking joke?"
Yeah.
He had this long ass fucking diatribe he tweeted. I should have saved it, but yeah, he was just like, "This is fucking weird, man. Like, what the fuck did I do?"
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So is that supposed to be the character too? Are we blaming that on the character?
Is that exactly? Is that just the character? Is that just because Tonka Saw is a terrible fucking person?
Yeah.
He's just not a good guy.
Yeah. It's fucking
I just
amazing.
thought that was funny because I'm like, who blocks somebody over like a silly joke?
Yeah, well, I assume it's not getting the fucking joke, being so fucking serious that you can't fucking recognize that as a fucking joke. They're being so angry. I mean, it seems like a universal trait of all these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, like Andy and all of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah, not even just Tonka and Andy. Cognitive thought, and like all these guys, they're so fucking quick to anger, dude. They spurg out over stupid shit. You
mentioned cognitive thought. I have to share this before I forget. Mm-hmm. Cognitive thought believed that in the United States, we killed our cows, for meat, like when you're killing them or slaughtering them with lightning bolts.
Lightning bolts?
With fucking lightning bolts. Like there was a machine that generated enough electricity that it was like a lightning bolt that went through the cow.
Wow.
Because people say that they slaughter the cows primarily are slaughtered with a bolt gun.
Oh, right.
Usually what happens is they'll stun them with an electric shock and then use a bolt gun like milliseconds afterwards.
Right.
So essentially it's as painless as it can be. It's like boom, sever the spinal cord, done.
And we're talking if anybody's
lightning bolt.
Wow.
Like some sort of mad fucking scientist factory, like where they're generating lightning bolts and fucking running them through cows.
Oh my god! Yeah. See, that's no, and for anybody who doesn't know, the bolt gun you're talking about, I assume, is like if you've seen No Country for Old Men, the thing the fucking creepy guy uses to kill people.
One that somebody I think actually used that as the explanation on the stream. That I was like, no, a bolt gun is just a gun that pneumatically fires like a half-inch long, half-inch diameter or inch diameter bolt
into
out
the brain
super fast, and then it comes right back in. It just pops out for a second.
Yeah,
it's enough to sever the spinal cord of the cow or a human. If you put it in the right place, it would do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's going to bust through a cow's skull, it's definitely going through a fucking human skull.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, that's
our skulls are both so close to the surface. Like it seems like a trait of most mammals.
Right. Yeah, but again, that seems like the two overwhelmingly apparent traits of the whole fucking crew is really dumb and really quick to anger. Yeah. You know, it's just a bad combination. They spurg out like everything. Yeah, in fact. But no, in fact, I was seriously considering at one point creating a parody account called Pre-Cognitive Thought, where I tried to predict what cognitive thought was going to spurg out about next. I actually put it in the chat, dude, and he was in there. I think I said obsess instead of spurg out, but I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to start again, pretty cool, but I just said I'm going to start a channel called Precognitive Thought and figure out and guess what Cog is going to obsess over next. And then he came back with, he was like, define obsess. I'm like, really?
Oh my God.
You can't tell me you don't at least recognize the fact that you tend to really hone in on shit and stay angry about something for a very long time. Well, I know because I told you back when I was subscribed to you that, hey, maybe you can let this go now. You're really carrying on and obsessing about this for a long time. You know, because I was up to him for a little while, but I got tired of him doing that shit. Like, I'm like, dude, you're fucking... you just don't ever let shit go, man. You fucking go on and on and on about it for like a week over something that should probably take up, you know, maybe a couple hours of your time.
Oh, we got New Killer in the chat wants someone to type a list of people in the crew. I don't know all the people that are in the crew though. What crew are you talking about? I should say.
Yeah. Oh, the Potato Head Mafia? Or are you talking about our crew? We don't really have a crew.
Yeah, it's like me, him, Engelhardt, and like 40 Mike, and then occasionally we'll get somebody like
Mad Metal Man,
and we've gotten Bass Mama.
Dave Murphy.
Times. Dave Murphy.
Yeah, Dave Murphy's been on. Times. So yeah,
I like that dude's pretty cool times. Yes? Question mark.
That doesn't help, dude.
Yeah, I don't know who's in the Potato Head Mafia crew. I only see like occasionally people will retweet shit, and I'll see like random stuff from retweets that or like they have I don't know, their fans or whatever will be harassing people online, and I'll see retweets of that sometimes. Right. I don't actually follow any of these people on Twitter. I just see like the results from other people who get like.
Yeah, they'll generally get attacked.
And then I mock it because it's silly and funny. You know, it's like funny to make fun of these like idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm still following a couple of them. I haven't yet unfollowed Tonka because I still find his stuff entertaining for some reason. Who else? I think I still follow Vamp. Like I just kind of haven't bothered to unfollow. I don't see a lot of their stuff because I don't interact with it. You know how Twitter is. If you don't really interact with something that much. Yeah, so even I don't really see much of it anymore. But yeah, it's like you said, you'll see something here and there where somebody dared to criticize one of them and their fans dogpile the fucking person.
I kind of started to feel bad for Tonka-san. Because like every time I would say shit, he would just fucking go crazy. And I was just like, that poor dude seems genuinely angry.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
It is shit on Twitter, and I'm like, that's not cool. I don't like the guy, but
yeah, well, that's the thing.
Fucking miserable. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with him and Andy. Like they're looking at them objectively, you would have to say they're pretty fucking successful in life in general. But it seems like they're still miserable. Like they can't find any contentment, despite being successful. They're so filled with anger and rage, man.
The whole thing is weird. That's part of why I don't watch any of it anymore. Like I just like at first I was watching stuff that wasn't really blood sports though. It was just people like fucking around and having a good time. And then it slowly it changed into what it is now, and it's like I find it intolerable.
But yeah, no, it wasn't. None of them really took it that seriously, and then all of a sudden, they all started taking it very seriously.
Yeah. Well, like, what was it? I guess Allison from Honey Badgers. I don't really know who this is. I got this from Prince of Queens slid up in my Twitter DMs to tell me some things.
Oh wow.
There, but he was telling me about Allison from Honey Badgers went on to one of the blood sports things. I guess the Kumite.
Oh wow!
And they just fucking were awful. Because he was explaining like what happened, and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds pretty bad. Maybe I'll actually break down and watch part of this episode. I don't normally watch the show at all, and I think the Kumite on like every fucking day. I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is
grocery shopping. I got video games I want to play, shows I want to watch, and
yeah. Well, you remember Geek was like, you guys are sitting there. I always hate watching it. Like, dude, I haven't. No, neither of us have watched it in a very long time. Yeah, like I said,
a few episodes at the beginning, and then one episode in the middle that you told me to watch.
Yeah. The one with six.
3 since it started, and most of those, and then. I watched the Allison one for like maybe 5 minutes, and they were just so fucking obnoxious that I was like, I don't know why she's even still on there. I'm not going to watch anymore.
Yeah.
Like, she's making good points. She's trying to be super polite.
And they're just talking shit and yelling.
Yeah, they're just talking shit, and it's Mr. Matoker acting like he's all hot shit, and she's just a piece of shit for fucking wanting to, support men's rights.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely had the wrong impression about Metoker, whatever, from when I first started following till now. Now I'm like, all right, asshole, you're just a fucking shitty person. Like, yeah, you're funny and you can break the shit down, but you're just fucking awful, dude. You're just an awful fucking person.
But then to be fair, like sometimes some of the stuff he's gone over, he's really accurate on.
Right.
Like the stuff about sovereign citizens, he really hit that stuff right on the fucking head. That is exactly what those people are like.
Right.
I've seen a lot of other shit, and then there's some of the weird fucking fetishists from like DeviantArt stuff. Like he was pretty dead on about how those people act. I mean, that wasn't. But then it seems like he's somewhere along the line, he started to get to the point where he really needs the money. I guess he has some health issues, and he really genuinely does need the YouTube money because he lost his job too. And so he's just doing what it takes to make the money.
Yeah.
So he's
but it's
turning people down that aren't necessarily like bad people, and he's not necessarily representing them in an accurate or honest way.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. Is like it seemed like he used to do like pretty in-depth research, and now it's pretty much just fucking shitting on everything.
Well, and
and acting like he's so much, so fucking superior to everyone and everything,
And it also seems like he's finding people. Sometimes he's just finding people with genuinely, like, seriously untreated mental health problems, and just fun of them.
Yeah, the last one I saw of his, dude, it was the one where I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm unsubscribing because this is just mean.
There was another one with Chris Chan. With arguably Chris Chan is a pretty funny character, but at the same time, like, the dude got like a terrible infection in his taint and thought he was growing a vagina.
Jesus, dude.
And like clearly this dude has some issues. He molested a kid. He masturbates with feces. I mean, like, this is not a mentally sound individual.
Yeah. The one with, I forgot what the chick's name was, but the one that was just recently, like within the last week or two, where that chick was like in the hotel room and like cops were at her door and shit. Like that bitch is just fucking like seriously like schizophrenic or something. And I just felt bad for her, dude.
Oh, and I'm yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was pretty awful.
Yeah, and that was the one I watched it, and I'm like, this is just fucking bullying, this is just mean-spirited bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
This is not fucking, yeah. And of course, obviously, the shit he did with fucking Base Mama and Kilroy was fucking really, and not even just Base Mama, Wasley, like, he really made them look like they were actively participating in any of the doxing shit. And, you know, I've seen the videos, the full videos of both of those, and they are obviously not saying, you know, not saying that at all.
Oh, he was absolutely clipping out stuff directly out of context, using it in a way that if you watched the whole section of that video, it would not support what he was saying.
Yeah, it's incredibly deceitful, dude. So yeah,
that was kind of an issue for me. I was just like, well, if that's that dishonest there, then some of this other stuff that I don't also know about, like I kind of heard about Chris Chan from other sources, so I knew that the stuff he was saying was true.
Yeah,
and there is some humor to be found there. Like, don't get me wrong, there's humor to be found in fucking everything. But there's also a certain point at which you kind of be like, somebody is so fucked up that they're just a tragedy. Maybe you should just feel bad for that person. And like, you know, like
no, that's how I felt.
Went to jail. You know, like that's what happens. You go to jail, and you know he's being punished, and hopefully he'll be forced into some sort of mental health program when he gets out, so that he won't be a danger to others anymore.
Yeah, but no, that seems to be the direction he's gone in, man, is to just fucking be incredibly mean-spirited. And my issue with him too is anybody that wants to try and make any kind of positive change in the world, he just shit. Not only does he not help, which is fine if he doesn't want to fucking contribute to that, that's no problem. But the fact that he actively ridicules any of them, like Sargon or you know, that kind of shit, like you're ridiculing them because they actually want to try to stop the fucked up shit that they see happening in the world. Yeah. You know, and again, like I said, I think it all goes back to his Gamergate experience and it not going the way that he wanted. So now, ever since then, he's just gonna fucking shit on anybody that's even trying. You know,
I think there's a lot of other people that share that opinion. I don't think you're the only one who thinks that. I think that's slowly people are catching on.
Yeah.
I mean, you take somebody who's as ridiculous as Laura Loomer, and he managed to make her look reasonable.
Right.
Being such an asshole on Baked
Alaska
stream.
Yeah.
He was so mean and ridiculous and over the top and rude. And Laura Loomer came out looking like a decent person in comparison.
Yeah, that was really amazing, dude. Yeah, like him and Andy were just being fucking assholes, dude.
I mean, complete fucking cunts themselves. Is it true that your pussy smells like wet bread?
Jesus,
like, I mean, at that point, you look like an ass. Like I'm sure there are like a bunch of 13-year-olds who think that's fucking hilarious because you said pussy and wet bread.
Oh yeah, and dude, well, his fans are the same kind of misanthropic assholes, dude.
Yeah,
you know, and holy shit, they're crazy.
Kids are kind of sociopathic at that age,
right? But yeah, no, they're fucking. It's the same. His fans are incredibly cringy themselves. That's why I fucking kind of have to laugh when he fucking talks shit about other bases. Like, dude, look at your own, man. Your own fucking, those motherfuckers constantly are doing beating the fuck out of dead horses as far as past, you know, bringing up past the shit you brought up, you know, the glow in the dark CIA niggers or the fucking Rick and Morty shit. It's so fucking, it's just incredibly cringy. You know, his fan base is right, just about as cringy as any other one, dude.
True, but I mean, some of it was interesting, like learning about what happened with like that guy with the glasses group. Like just this history aspect of it was interesting to me. Like I'd heard about those people, but I wasn't really a fan of any of it. And
right.
How like it all ended up sort of imploding on them.
Yeah. No, he has definitely done great work, dude. Yeah. I'm not disputing that at all.
I'm just saying, like. When he really gets into the research and he's showing you like all this really sort of fascinating minutia and history of a subject, albeit like just some random people on the internet that he's talking about, it's really interesting. It's too bad that he sort of swung away from anything that really had any real interest into just mocking the mentally ill.
Yeah, it seems like he's become so fucking bitter and angry, man. that he's like lashing out, but he's doing it calmly and pretending he thinks it's like fucking joking about it.
He lost his job. He's got physical health issues that are keeping him from working, and that they're piling medical bills up. I'm sure he is miserable and angry.
Yeah, but it's just sad
those are not happy things that have happened. Like I'm sure Gamergate played a part, but I think you can't count out like the other stuff, the real world.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. It doesn't excuse it in my mind though.
No, I'm not saying it's not an excuse. I'm not making excuses for his behavior to say that his behavior is okay. Right. I'm just saying, like, I think there are other reasons too. Like it's
right.
There are other reasons for what's going on.
No doubt.
Andy Worski's always fallen back on it's just entertainment. I'm just an entertainer. It's just entertainment. Since when does being an entertainer excuse you from being responsible for the information you put out and the words you say?
Yeah. Right.
That's never been the case.
Well, Andy's a fucking idiot. Andy's a fucking moron. Like he's so incredibly impressionable. And he really does have a hard time thinking for himself. Like that much is pretty fucking obvious.
And it's the same sort of like dog whistle for the rest of that kind of genre at this point.
Right.
Like, oh well, we're just entertainment. You can't criticize us. You can't say we're bad because we're just entertaining. So it's okay.
Yeah, although Andy
justify the means. I'm sorry, that's still circular logic, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think Tonka doesn't think he's doing anything. That's I think he still believes that it is just entertainment, but I think Andy still thinks he's actually doing something, like something that's like some kind of positive impact. You know what I mean? Like, I think he still feels like he's still relevant as far as changing the world or something.
I think the other Worski, Chris Worski, has Noob Killer says the morning Kumite has been low class for some time. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't watched a lot of the Kumites, but the little bits I've seen here and there are pretty awful.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the first one with Ranting Monkey was the one where I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, this was just awful. This was literally, and I think that was, again, that's indicative of what goes on now, where it's just fucking two people yelling over each other. Because, I don't like, again, I mentioned I do not like Ranting Monkey at all. But in that one, like, right from the get-go, it was just, yelling and talking shit. I was trying to find that real quick, because I said I was going to look it up for Engelhardt. I think they might have actually deleted it, because I could not find that episode that I was going to send to Hearth.
Oh, wow. That doesn't surprise me, though. The whole thing, okay, so there was a tweet that Tonka Saw put out that essentially was, if your show has been damaged by my show being out, then it's because your show deserved it.
Oh, right.
And so essentially what it was is it's you're saying that the ends justify the means, that because I was capable of doing something, therefore it is justified that I do it.
Right.
Like, essentially you're trying to moralize the ability to do something as saying that it's morally correct, which is not, I mean, it's circular logic. It's not true. You can't base the conclusion
whether or not something works,
essentially.
Yeah. Well, if I drop a nuclear bomb on New York and it gets wiped out, then obviously I'm doing the right thing. It worked.
Yeah,
that's pretty extreme, and that doesn't exactly.
That's an extreme version of it, but it's essentially saying that the premise is justification for the conclusion.
Yeah,
that because this thing is possible, it is acceptable.
Right.
It should happen.
Yeah, like if North Korea somehow invaded South Korea and took over, then I guess it was justified because it worked.
Yeah, South Korea was weak and they deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yelling and shit talking does get boring fast, Noob Killer.
Well, not for everybody, apparently, because fucking idiots are still watching it, dude.
But I basically made fun of him. I'm like, yeah, you really are the coolest kid in junior high or something. That's ridiculous. Like, what you're saying is dumb, and you're dumb for saying it, essentially. And he went on in this back and forth on Twitter, blah blah blah. Who gives a shit?
No, yeah. But, it was falling back on the popularity thing. Like, nobody wants to watch your stupid ass. So,
well, let me finish though, because this gets funny.
Oh, sorry. All right, I'll shut up.
And then at one point, he apparently admitted that he Like there's people that report to him on stuff, like even on this little show that we do, which is fucking, you can see like there's fucking nobody watching really. There's 1 or 2 people on any given episode watching.
Yeah. He was literally like, and don't think people don't tell me what you say. Like,
he went through and deleted all of that.
Oh, did he?
It's all completely gone. So if you go back on my fucking Twitter history, there's me interacting with other people, but like he went through and deleted all that shit.
Yeah, that's fucking odd. Because that was fucking classic.
It was pretty
like,
fun.
holy shit. You got a show where we get maybe 5 viewers, and you got people that you have reporting back to you on what we say about you. I was
the
like,
only
that is
thing
so
you
fucking
can see
pathetic.
now is there's a screen cap I made of him saying that like you talk like you don't think people report to me on everything on all the shit you're talking or whatever.
Mm.
And it's like, first of all, everything I say is public, so I'm not really concerned if people hear it because clearly I'm not making an effort to hide it.
Right.
But that's the only thing you can find on the Twitter. Otherwise, it just looks like I'm a crazy person tweeting it like fucking nobody.
Yeah. And my money, by the way, is solidly on it being Geek Thulu that is going through and watching these things either live or afterwards to report back.
I don't know. I don't care who watches it. No, honestly, like I just don't give a shit. Like whoever's watching it and reporting it, good. I hope you enjoy it, man. Like,
no, I like to speculate on who is actually doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and if that's what they get, that's what entertains them. Like it's pretending to be. Like,
and if it is Geek,
right on, man.
Yeah. If that is true, Geek or whoever it is, seriously reevaluate your fucking life choices and your fucking actions.
Man. What are you talking about? Don't reevaluate your things. You should get your friends to help you. More people watching.
yeah, that's true. Yes, no, I think you need more. Because it is a pretty long thing. You should probably break it up into sections, and each of you watch maybe overlap a little and compare notes on that.
No,
get as many people watching and dissecting it as possible.
They should each watch the whole thing at least twice, so that when they come back and compare notes later.
Yeah, that's true.
We can have better, more accurate notes.
Yeah, actually, you're right. If you're comparing sections,
our viewers.
Yeah, they can. People can miss stuff.
Yeah.
So get at least a dozen of you watching and dissecting.
It's sort of like all the Jesus and Hitler videos on my own channel that I made. The little popsicle stick doll videos. The only place I ever advertised that was on religious Reddits.
That still cracks me up, dude. So when you did that, you actually thought you were going to get subs from that, huh?
No, I didn't think I was going to get subs. I was aiming for hate views. I was genuinely aiming for like people to be like so angry that they'd be like, "Did you see this? This man is horrible." I was just trying to like stir some shit. I was like, still like,
all right. See, I thought at one point you had said that you genuinely thought like people were going to like it and subscribe to it.
No, I've never doing it on. The only thing I ever thought about making those popsicle stick doll videos was like, I have a couple of friends that have seen it and thought it was funny. And I was up all fucking night working a graveyard shift, and I needed
nothing better to do.
I would just like write scripts and fucking build popsicle stick dolls.
Nice.
Make the videos on my nights off because it's Wednesday night at 3 in the fucking morning and I've got nothing to do. But if I go to sleep now, then I'm gonna fuck up my schedule for the rest of the week. And
right. All right. Oh, Noob Killer said no, not Geek, anyone but him. Yeah, and that's the thing is going back to those guys. It really seems like they don't grasp what you're saying a lot of times. Like they really are pretty fucking dumb. Geek especially, like he'll come back with, "Oh, you're doing this because of this, and you're doing this." Like that's completely wrong. How did you get that from the information you have? Like
define obsessed. Like you don't need to define obsessed. It's a common fucking word. It's not like a or something. Like a word that people don't use a lot.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, dude, come on, you gotta have at least that amount of self-awareness that you tend to, spurg out on shit for an inordinately long period of time. Yeah, I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like, come on, cognitive thought. There's no way. Like I said, I know I had told him that in the past. Again, back when I was subscribed to him for that short period. Like, dude, you're going off on this for a long time, way longer than any normal, reasonable person would.
My point isn't that he's unself-aware, like obviously unself-aware, but it's not an intellectual argument to claim that the other person doesn't understand the word. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So like, if you're
and I was just saying it as a joke. It wasn't even, you know what I mean? I was just saying I was going to create the precognitive thought to figure out, to guess what he was going to spurg out about next, to create that parody account. I was just saying it as a joke. Like, I wasn't being mean-spirited or anything. But no. Apparently hit a wrong note with him.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, that's not a really good counter argument for somebody who claims to be like this intellectual person who's their whole basis for their channel is, I know what's going on. I understand what it is. Let me explain it to you so that you can understand it too. That's kind of what they represent themselves as doing, not necessarily talking with the Kumite. That clearly is a different thing, but
well, no, Cog's thing is all right. But Cog's thing, I noticed, like, because he would start coming on the Kumite right towards the end, like right before I got tired of it and stopped watching, because I followed it for about a month or whatever. I've noticed that watching him on that stream and other streams, he has about, like, whatever he's pissed off about, he has about a 3 or a 4 minute spiel about it, and then he's on repeat for the entire rest of the stream. Like, it's almost like he's on a fucking loop, and he will repeat everything he said in the previous 3 or 4 minutes, slightly differently, obviously, but it's basically the same thing he said already, recycled, looped, and looped, and looped. It's really fucking weird, dude. Because you're like, dude, you realize you said all this already, right? Like, you're repeating yourself for the 5th time. All right. Anyways.
I'm chewing on some Tums, so...
Yeah.
I'm not trying to give you the silent treatment or something.
No, I was like, oh shit, I think I'm accidentally dominating the conversation here. But
no. I was gonna say, I think a lot of people repeat themselves, but there's certain kind of like
like once or twice, but if you said it 3 times and you're still going into the 4th and 5th time of saying the same thing, it's a little fucking weird.
I was going to say, like, there's certain people who seem to think that if you just change the words around a little bit, you're not conveying a new idea or even really a new angle on the idea that you've conveyed. Like, they seem to think that just changing the words around means that's what you're doing, but you're really not. Like, you're just saying the same thing again.
Yeah. Nothing is fucking. Yeah, but like I said, I've definitely seen other people that do it, but his is so pronounced. Like, you're like, dude.
Yeah, it's sort of like 20,000 is a reasonable price for a Honda Civic, and then somebody's like, "Well, no, I found Honda Civics for like 15," and you're like, "No, really, for a Honda Civic, 20 is not bad." You know what I mean? Like, you just keep rephrasing it. It's like you're not making a new argument, or
right. Yeah, or dude, remember the thing that really got me with him too was his. This was a while back, probably a couple months ago now, or at least a month ago. Him getting into it with Day is Dead on Twitter, and like, she got to the realization of, like, okay, we're talking about 2 different things, and she sent him a message saying, "Hey, can we just jump on and talk to each other privately for 5 minutes? Like, we're talking past each other here." And he's like, "No, there's no way we have to do this privately. Anything you can say privately, you can say publicly." And they're like, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You're having a misunderstanding, and she wants to clarify it by actually talking to you in private. And he shared the DMs. He actually shared the DMs, dude. Which is, again, I guess not a big deal now, but that was back before it somehow became acceptable.
It's like Prince of Queens DM'd me a bunch of stuff, and I'm not, like, nothing was that weird or anything. I'm just, it's or inappropriate. It's just, I'm not going to, sit there and be like,
I couldn't believe it. And here's
said, and
and here's the thing,
man. People too, and it's like, you don't fucking share that. That's the whole point of direct messaging.
And here's the thing with that: Cog and Day have hung out in person. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're just internet buddies. They've actually hung out in person together.
Yeah.
And he treated her like that.
Cog did a similar thing to Prince of Queens, which is why I brought him up. Was he brought Prince of Queens onto a stream and then just fucking attacked him.
Oh, wow.
And up until that point, Prince thought they were friends.
Mm.
And apparently, in order to get more points with that sort of blood sport thing, he fucking brought him on and just under the pretense of essentially trying to work shit out.
Yeah, dude, I actually finally listened to the that Unknown Archive Andy thing on the Kumite the other day, and holy shit, it seemed like Failure really chucked the Unknown Archive under the bus, or I don't know if he was lying or what, but he chucked him under the bus to some degree.
I don't know. You know, the whole group of people has lost their goddamn minds.
Yeah. I was like, dude, that's really shitty of Failure to do that to Unknown Archive. Somebody that he's known far longer than he knows Andy, I'm pretty sure.
Well, like the No BS thing that they made into this big fucking thing for a while. I think that's the last thing I really remember paying any attention to before I was just like, oh, fucking done. This is a long time ago, but I guess Failure took a picture of that dude on when he was asleep, and that guy also has his own picture on his Patreon or something. Right. He got all upset and was like, you need to take the picture down, and then Failure's like, no, I'm not gonna. You've already got posted pictures other places. And it's like, why not just take the picture down?
Yeah, even if Brooks, even if No BS was being ridiculous, yeah, why not take it down?
Yeah, why not just tell the guy, like, hey man, I think you're being way over the top, but I'll take the picture down, but keep you have your picture up in other places if it bothers you that much.
Yeah, like although I might have insisted that he take out his pictures other places, like fuck you, take him down all these other places. But well, yeah, I know. But dude, No BS is a fucking idiot too.
With Opal like did face reveals on live streams, and I tweeted a joke at her when I had a picture of her on it or something like that, and she's like, oh, I don't want my picture, I don't want my face out on Twitter. And it was just like, all right, well, it's fucking all over the internet now because you've been on live streams, but whatever, like I just take it down, no big deal.
The first time was like for donations or something for some kind of charity stream or something, right?
Yeah, and I just like, oh, fucking whatever, man. Like, no skin off my neck. It's just a polite fucking thing to do.
Yeah, gotcha. Although again, it is hard. There's no BS.
I want to, but and I think there'd be a fair point to be like, but your face is all over fucking live streams. Get over it.
Yeah, but again, if they are requesting it, you're right. Why not?
It takes me 2 seconds. It's not going to make a difference to me in fucking.
Yeah. Although, No BS is kind of perfect for that because he does seem to have the same level of stupid, ridiculous anger and being really, really dumb that fits in really well with that fucking crowd.
No, Failure's right. Like he didn't make it very well as a comic, and there's probably a very good reason for that. He's not very funny.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I find the dude incredibly boring. But dude, he seems to be so good at ingratiating himself with these other YouTubers.
Yeah. Well, a good part of why I watched a lot of it in the very first place, in all honesty, was it was regularly on. People were just kind of bullshitting and talking and having a good time way before the Kumite started. And I had some really, really bad back pain from the nerve that was pinching and making it so I couldn't use my right arm.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to spend a lot of time just laying in bed, and I'm just like, oh my God, I got to do something. And TV is boring as shit.
Yeah.
So I'd watch live streams. And so I really appreciate that. Like I got to, I do appreciate these people in the respect that there was a good couple of months there where like they kept me fucking like at least a little bit sane. So I mean, I because we do talk a lot of trash. I gotta be honest and be like, there was a point at which it really made a difference for me, and that's part of why I'm so disappointed with the direction that it's going.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching it, but yeah, I seem to enjoy the people that Failure would have on with them, but not really him.
That's usually what it was.
And it didn't do any. It was nothing that angered me. I unsubscribed from him probably almost a year ago. It wasn't anything that he did that like angered me or anything. I was just like, this guy's kind of boring. Like, it's just not that entertaining, and that was it.
Yeah. Of course, probably saying that is probably very ironic, I'm sure, to a lot of people.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that if they watch this shit, would be like, God damn, these two are fucking boring.
Yeah. No doubt, man. You know, like I said, I enjoy it. And I enjoyed listening to it before I started actually participating in it. But yeah.
Oh no, this is the kind of thing I love watching. If it's other people doing these kind of streams, I'm definitely down to watch. But
right.
I accept the fact that we will probably never be super popular.
Right. Yeah. Well, you suck at fucking, promoting your channel too. That doesn't help.
It's a valid point. I'm gonna probably live stream a lot of the pirate game. That should probably bring some views, some video game people watching. You never know, they might accidentally click on one of the other things.
Yeah. But we do talk a lot of shit, I guess. For the longest time, I'm like, I'm just sharing my opinion. But like, oh yeah, I guess it is kind of, it is being broadcast, even if hardly anybody's watching it. So I guess it does have to qualify as
talk shit. But to be fair, and this is one of the things that really bothers me about the current bully pulpit tactics that they use to try to force people to come on their shows and be harassed. It's everything we're saying is public. It's not behind any back. It's not hidden.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. Again, you probably wouldn't either if we was actually going a discussion. We know what would happen. We know it would just be them fucking yelling and dogpiling. We've seen it too many times. There's no fucking way it's going to do anything productive. It's going to be them. Fuck you, bro. You're jealous. Yeah, you just. It's because we're more. Like, no, it's got nothing to do with it. There's plenty of people that are more popular than you, less popular than you. Again, everyone's more popular than us. So, there's plenty of people that I don't talk shit about that are more.
If I was really jealous, wouldn't I want to go on the streams that are bigger and get the bigger audience to hear me and hope that would direct people to my channel?
Yeah, exactly. But again, knowing it's pointless is the only thing that fucking matters. Not trying to grow an audience or any of that fucking shit, dude. Well, just by going on to your being your cannon fodder for a day.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I wouldn't stay on the stream. So like the first time they started doing the mockery and the abusive behavior, it'd be like, all right, well, I'm out, dudes. Like, have a good day.
Yeah. I'd be like, okay,
I wouldn't even. I don't think I'd even get really angry
discuss
because I wouldn't wait that long.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing, though. Again, not that it matters, but they would come back with, "Oh, that pussy."
Yeah, but I don't care what they think. So it doesn't matter.
Like no. Yeah.
Somebody who I have no respect for instance,
dude,
can call me a pussy all day long, every day to every person he meets. I'm never gonna care.
Right.
I don't have any respect for him, so I'm not really worried about how he thinks.
Yeah, and anybody that does respect him, you kind of would have to not respect. Like if they're going to listen to Geek Thulu and accept it as truth, why would you care what that person thinks?
I don't assume or expect that anyone who watches what we do and hears what we say will automatically agree with whatever we say. I assume that they'd be willing to actually go through and verify it themselves, like watch an episode of the Kumite or watch me, or watch Baked Alaska or watch Geek Thulu or the Cunt Stream. There's so many fucking people. I don't know how many people are doing it anymore.
Right. Yeah, I haven't. I think I'm still subscribed to the Cunt Stream, but I haven't actually watched one in a long time.
Yeah. But I would assume that they would check for themselves and have their own opinion. And maybe
I think I got into the habit. I even got into a habit of not doing that for a while, and it kind of cost me with people like, well, it doesn't matter who, but it kind of cost me just accepting it. And it's kind of one of the things that happened to the quote unquote skeptic community is that exact thing of, oh, this guy made a video about it. He must have done the research, so it must be true. Like there was a lot of that going on. And nobody was actually doing any research. It was all bullshit. People got fucking lazy and
if somebody in the skeptic community puts out a video, and then within a few hours to a day, everybody has a video basically parroting that set of facts, set of claimed facts.
Right.
Parroting what that person said. And that's part of what drove me out of watching skeptic videos is because it became very clear that they weren't very skeptical.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they used to be. That's what's so frustrating about it.
Well, and some of them are. There are a few people out there who are still genuinely doing like the research and really putting in the work.
Right.
They're few and far between, and it's really hard to find them. You know, and as much as I don't like Sargon, because he's gotten so sort of weirdly egotistic, like I don't know if ego is the right word. There's just too in love with his own fucking intellect, I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah.
But like, I do respect that he at least, I honestly think he at least does research. Like he actively researches what he's talking about. He goes through, he reads books on the topic. He's not coming at it from just like shooting from the hip. Because like we're not a skeptic channel. We're not claiming, like we make fun of like silly shit we see in the news, but we're not like, and it's wrong because, you know, we just, you know, we're pundits essentially.
Yeah, we essentially just kind of do our own on the spot reactions to things, or we're kind of just generally this, you know, the stuff that we're critiquing is kind of it's not anything real specific. It's kind of general behaviors from these people and that kind of thing. So it's not really anything we also research other than
talk about like stuff that Trump does or other politicians that are silly things, find weird criminals and you know, whatever silly shit we can find, like we make fun of it and you know,
and we definitely don't take ourselves seriously. It's not like we don't fucking make fun of ourselves pretty fucking routinely, you know.
But we also don't represent ourselves as like a skeptic channel. So I mean, like, it's weird that we would have more skepticism when we're looking at this stuff than a quote unquote skeptic ability. I don't know TLDR. I haven't really watched any of his stuff. I never got into TLDR stuff, not because TLDR wasn't honest or wasn't accurate or good at being skeptic. I just, his stuff was too long for me to really like get into. I just get bored.
As much as you want him to do the research, it was too much. Like
I would say TLDR is probably still good. I mean, I haven't really seen him get into any of like the SJW-ish behavior.
That's just true. Although for me, it was like, because he put out a video kind of criticizing. I thought it was pretty obvious that he was talking about like arming skeptic and like amazing atheist and that. But he backed off of it. He was like, no, I wasn't talking about anyone specific. Or, like, I was like, you're a fucking pussy. Like, you put that video out. It was perfect. It was a great critique of and this was a long time ago. This was way before any of the shit blew up. Well, but it was a great critique.
Skeptic fans and atheist, what is it, the other atheist guy?
Amazing Atheist?
Yeah, by his fans too. I think a lot of people like fucking just went on a huge harassment campaign because he dared to step out of line.
Yeah, but dude, he backed off. I don't know. I was like, why did you back off of this, dude? It's like, you know that it was totally on point. And he backed off of it. Although, he did. He made Jeff and Andy look pretty fucking foolish with their little drunky stream that one time too. I think that's one of the last times I watched him. But I think TLDR is probably still good. I haven't watched him in a long time though, so I'm speculating. I might actually check him out again because he was really good for a long time.
It would be nice to actually see some like genuinely like researched skeptic material.
Yeah, and I don't think he does a lot of it himself because I think he credits a lot of people for doing the research for him. But at least that's happening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Somebody's researching whatever he puts out. I hope that's still the case.
I think grade A under A is still good.
I haven't watched him in a long time. I can't remember what pissed me off about him, but I should probably give him another chance.
V-Row is he a little bit like, he's sort of like Sargon's lackey, but
really?
He comes out with some interesting stuff.
V. Okay, I thought you said T like Thomas.
No. Okay. V-Row, I think it is like the
I can't get over it. I can't get over his fucking voice and delivery. It's fucking. I know it's fucking horrible, but he sounds like a guy that's talking like an over-animated Mexican to me. And it seems like it's making fun. I know it's not. I know it's just him talking, but that's what it sounds like.
Romanian accent, it's not even,
But it bugs me so much. It's like somebody making fun of a Mexican accent. That's what it sounds like to me. And again, probably because I have so many Mexican friends, it fucking hits me. And again, even though it's not what he's doing, it still fucks with me.
No.
But sorry, go ahead.
Well, you have a problem, essay? Sorry. He just went on about it, so I had to do it for a second. I'm sorry. But I don't get that from his accent. That's such a weird thing. I'll have to watch some of his videos and see if I can pick up what you're hearing.
Yeah, for the longest time, I was like, this guy's like a fucking. This guy seems like he should be on like the Mexican novellas or something, or the some Mexican TV thing. Like that the way he talks seems so over the top. And again, I actually, I know it's not the case, but I still can't get over it.
Yeah, it's just a Romanian accent.
Yeah.
Grip. Well, a lot of these languages are based in the same base language,
Yeah, they're all like the Indo-European.
Yeah, well, I mean, they all started from Latin.
Latin, yeah.
They're all based in Latin, so I mean, it's not surprising that some of them. I mean, some of the words are even the same in multiple languages. So,
oh yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me that it does sound like that. I never really made that connection.
That's a true. No, it made it immediately with me, instantly. I was like, "Is this guy doing a bit?" Like, I literally thought he was doing it as like a bit.
Although, I mean, if you want a really bad Mexican accent, Cheech Marin does one in like all of his movies.
Right.
He is Mexican, but like his accent is so over the top. It's just so bad.
Hey, I don't know. I've heard people that talk like that, dude.
Well, but I think he's doing it for comedic effect, though. I mean,
right. Oh, yeah.
He's doing it in a very good-natured way.
Right.
But it's very funny, especially when you watch like the old Cheech and Chong stuff.
Right.
But you hear him talk, and you can tell it's sort of like a real exaggeration of his own like natural accent.
Yeah.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who's offended by it. But
yeah. He managed to pull it off without angering anybody.
Watch Black Panther.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Oh, he's gone. What was I saying? God damn it, my brain froze.
Oh shit!
Hold on, and suddenly I think I'm on the phone.
Okay, sorry about that. My phone was dying, dude. I had to plug my phone in.
Oh, dude, you threw me for a loop. Just like I was like, hold on, but this isn't a phone call.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I should have fucking just said.
No, listen, you didn't do anything wrong. I just fucking went like, duh. Instead of just fucking like
I should have said I'll be right back. That probably would have not made you hold on.
That was pretty funny because I was like, normally I'll just riff for a couple minutes on something else, but no, I was saying I watched that Black Panther movie, and it wasn't bad. It just was like kind of boring, like kind of bland.
Yeah, that's kind of what my son said.
Yeah,
was like
the accents were fucking awful.
No, really.
The Wakandan accents were so bad. It was so silly sounding the whole time.
Damn.
It was unfortunate. It probably made the movie worse than it was. Like, it could have been a much better movie.
Wow. That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a terrible movie. It had all the elements for like a good, decent superhero movie. And I think it was just because it was another origin story.
All right.
Like, I'd say there's definitely some potential there. If in the future they make a sequel, because they won't have to do the origin stuff, they can just get right into the meat of the story.
Yeah,
what's really interesting about it is that movie was so fucking right wing. It was bizarre. Legitimately, like lines from that movie. You bring refugees, they bring their problems with them.
Wow.
They were like, because the thing was, the whole story was essentially the Black Panther, his father, when his father was the Black Panther, had a falling out with his brother because his brother wanted to open the doors to Wakanda because it's super advanced and they got all this wealth and all these things. And he wanted to share that with all the Black people in Africa to make their lives better, to basically like to sort of take over the world, to make the whole world into Wakanda, but slowly by just giving out all the stuff that they have, all their things, everybody else. And which is really not a fucking realistic way of doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah, it's kind of an SJW type thing. It's kind of a communist type thing.
So then the Black Panther's father, when he was the Black Panther, confronted his own brother and ended up killing him.
Oh wow!
And it left his son an orphan in Oakland, California, which is a pretty high crime area. And his son grew up to like hate Wakanda and basically came in and wanted to take over and do what his father never was able to accomplish.
Oh, gotcha.
And the whole thing, there's this big thing about like Wakanda is so perfect. Everybody lives in such harmony. All these other places in like Africa and all these other areas where Black people are living in misery and poverty, they're saying like, well, we owe them because they're our people, even though they're not even like fucking from the same country.
Right.
But and the whole time it's super fucking like, no, we must maintain like closed borders and do not give away our things. And it was super fucking conservative. It pushed conservative values a lot.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. Well, it's minorities doing it, so they don't notice.
So they don't know.
Again, that's why if it was the White Panther, people would be up in arms about how fucking this fake movie, how exclusionary these people were in the movie. But because it's the Black Panther, it's a minority, so it's totally fine.
At the end of the movie, the middle ground that's reached where they're trying to help other people is they're going to give they're going to teach other countries how to use some of the medical tech. And they're opening like community centers in other areas, other countries. They're not actually bringing any refugees to their country.
Oh, gotcha.
So they're maintaining closed borders, and they're doing exactly like what a conservative would do. Be like, we're happy to send food and blankets to these people over there. We just don't want them in our country.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, it's helping them so they don't have to leave their own country.
Exactly. Very much conservative value. So it was like fucking legit. Like Black Panther was straight up right wing. Like he was like legit, like on Trump's side, essentially, of everything that Trump's talking about. Because they were the same talking points.
I'm telling you, it's all because it was Black people, dude. Yeah, that's why they fucking completely, they love the movie so much. The lefties, without realizing, it's kind of the exact opposite of their whole worldview. But it's minorities, so it's okay, because anything the minorities do is.
Yeah, it was super funny in that respect, because I was watching and I was like, holy shit. Although it was really funny, the sound system fucked up the first time the movie started when I went to see it. So it sounded like the fucking adults from Charlie Brown. Literally everybody sounded like wah, 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 wah. And I'd heard the accents were bad, so I'm like, all right. I heard the Wakandan accents were bad in this movie, but this is way the fuck over the top.
Right. There's no way this is real.
I went and let the people know. I'm like, I think your sound system's got some sort of digital feedback going on, because it is bad.
Right.
And then I came and he's like, oh, well, let me have a listen, because he looked really skeptical, and he walked in and he's like, oh no. Like, just fucking took off. And so I went back and I sat down, and they fucking paused the movie, and somebody came in and like, we're gonna try to fix this. And they got the movie going again with the right sound. And then somebody came in again like 2 minutes later. All right, we're going to try to pause it and start it from the beginning, so you actually get to see the whole movie. Because by that point it was like 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then later, the manager came over and tapped on my shoulder and gave me like a free movie ticket.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm guessing they probably comped everybody and said, you just come see another movie for free.
That's pretty cool.
But it was pretty fucking funny. It was like, wah. And I'm like, damn, I heard that accents were bad, but
shit. Like it can't be that over the top. God damn.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, because that's why I waited like 5 minutes or something. 5-10 minutes. I'm thinking, is it really that bad? Because this is a little over the top. But Marvel's, they've fucking taken some weird turns lately.
Like any other movie, I would be sure that this is screwed up, but because I heard this about the accents, I can't be positive.
Well, and there was also that thing in the back of your mind where you're like, oh, somebody else will take care of it. And it was a theater with probably 20, 30 people in it. and I'm the only one that got up and went to complain.
No, that's crazy.
So there's
it's almost that bystander effect of when there's a bunch of people around. Everybody kind of thinks that like, oh, somebody else will help that person, and nobody does. Yeah. But as far as the movie, my son went and saw it with his friends, and I didn't tell him anything about all the bullshit surrounding it before he watched it, because I kind of wanted to see what his reaction was. And he was like, yeah, it was okay. It was really not that good. Like, I really didn't like it. Like, it wasn't horrible, but it was just like, it was all right. So so I fucking told him I told him he was racist for not liking it. After the movie, after he told me, like, well, he pretty much said he didn't really like it. He didn't like it. So I did tell him that, like, you're racist if you don't like that movie. And then I kind of broke down. I was telling him, like, the bullshit going around.
Yeah, that kind of ruined it a little bit for me, to be fair. All the silly political, racial politics that were going on before I went to see it kind of cleared the pitch, so to speak.
Yeah, and I just wanted him to hopefully enjoy the movie if he was going to enjoy the movie, so I didn't want to give him any of that kind of backstory bullshit. But it turned out he did not particularly like the movie. Plus, I think he wanted to see the new Maze Runner movie because he likes the Maze Runner movies.
I saw the third one. I thought the third one was great, except for like there were one or two scenes that were just kind of put together poorly because it really obviously looked like there was no reason for this or that person to end up in that situation or to die or whatever.
Well, I thought the whole premise of the whole movies was ridiculous to me. Like, I don't understand why they had to be in the maze. I don't understand why they had to get stung by the fucking, like, none of it really made a whole lot of sense to me, dude.
No, that part didn't make any sense. I just was like along for the ride because I'm like, well, it's all fiction, so like, it doesn't really have to make sense.
Yeah, I know, it was a MacGuffin. Essentially, it was a MacGuffin.
Well, no, there was just a scene at the end where it looked like the director basically gave in to the actor, or somebody wrote a really bad ending.
Oh, wow.
Because they're like two people on top of a flaming building trying to jump into a helicopter, right? One is super injured. So the one person helps the other into the helicopter and then stops, fucking stares over for like a good 30-40 seconds at another building crashing, and then looks back at the helicopter just in time for that building to crash, to start collapsing, and then they just stand there and wave goodbye, essentially. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The second the first person got their hand grabbed, so that it really genuinely looked like there was no way that person could have survived. Like, there's no way they could have gotten out of it.
Right.
They died because that was just a tragic timing thing.
That's fucking ridiculous, man.
So the whole movie up till that point was really fun. It's just at that point you were just like, that was so fucking, whoever directed that should be shot.
Right.
Because they should have looked at that in the afterwards and been like, shit.
Like, we got to cut all that out.
Edit all this stuff out so that it looks like this girl helped the dude in the helicopter, and then just the building crashed before she could get in.
Yeah, she wasn't waiting around for the building to crash.
Yeah.
For no good reason.
For no reason at all, other than just to watch the special effects of some other building crashing.
Right. Like, I want to get in this helicopter and be saved, but man, that building coming down looks pretty cool.
Because I watched the other two. Like, I have the first two on DVD. And I thought they were fun. They were just silly, fun, action.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. No, I actually liked them too, but I was, I did it mainly to mess with my son, which I do constantly, but I was like, dude, there's no reason for any of this.
No, you're right, though. That is the part that's like the breakdown in the logic of the movie is like, why do they need to be in a maze? That's so fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Why do they have to have these griever things to stab them or to fucking infect them or whatever? Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
The whole thing was so silly. And then they have like weird cures and stuff, but none of them are the right cure.
Right.
There's no permanent cure. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not how diseases work.
Right. Yeah. Like, yeah. That's how they work in the Maze Runner universe.
You can temporarily abate the symptoms. Usually, you can refine that over like a couple of years into a cure all the way, or something that might as well be a cure. Like maybe
right,
take it forever, but
yeah, something that works the way insulin does, or something that will keep it at bay.
Like insulin or keeping it at bay. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah.
There was a movie, like a zombie movie I watched, where they had like a cure for the zombie virus.
Mm.
And as long as you went and got injected like every 3 days or something, you would stay human.
Mm.
Right? And then suddenly it started failing because the government wanted to chip all the people that were like infected under the guise of like, you put this in and it'll inject for you and you'll never have to worry about getting your injection every like 3 days or 30 days or whatever it was. I forget what it was. I think it was 3. But the chip also collected all this personal info, like the government was going to use it for some nefarious purposes.
It's crazy.
But like that was another one where you're like, how is it that they can't cure the virus then? Or at least, like, I mean, at least they have something that will always abate the symptoms kind of thing. Like that makes more sense.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of the zombie movies or any kind of movies like that well, even The Walking Dead, like it doesn't make the virus doesn't work until after you're dead or if you get bit. Like it. If it because they're like, okay, everybody's technically infected with it at this point, right? Yeah. But you have to get bit for it to accelerate. For me, that doesn't really make sense. Like if they're infected with it, it's going to take them all over. Yeah.
Oh, that's a trip. Yeah, I never really thought of that. I never really connected. Like, if everybody's already infected, then it shouldn't matter to get bit. Everybody should be a zombie now.
Yeah, or at least it shouldn't speed it up as much as it does. Like everybody should be technically turning. If everyone's infected with it, it should not make such a fucking dramatic difference. Or scratch, even just a scratch.
What's the fucking point? Like you can't save humanity at that point.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
Yeah, I guess that's the reason they don't turn.
You're not gonna have kids that are gonna be free of disease. Everybody's eventually gonna turn.
Right. I guess that's why it doesn't work like that, but it should. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. Good point. I was just thinking from a logical standpoint. I'm like at that point, I'm honestly, I might just fucking shoot myself in the head.
Right.
Trying to fucking save myself the misery of that, like really, because it always looks like a painful death in those zombie movies. It never looks like they fucking peacefully go in their fucking sleep.
Right. Right. Yeah, no one is afforded that luxury anymore. You're wandering around all undead and shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, fucking, if I shoot myself in the head, it's over in like 2 or 3 seconds.
You don't have to worry about coming back
anywhere. And what if they're conscious while they're fucking in that zombie body?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I kind of wonder about is like in that world, if that did actually happen in reality, like there's got to be some part of you that's still existing if your body's up and moving around.
Yeah.
Especially if it's, destroying the brain is what actually finally finishes you off. Like, you've got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, they actually covered that in Land of the Dead, which is, the guy that wrote the first one that got real big was, I want to say From Dusk Till Dawn, but that's a fucking vampire movie that Tarantino did.
Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead. So it's in the series of Dawn of the Dead, and it's Land of the Dead.
Right.
And at one point, you see that some of the zombies are starting to actually be able to like think and do more logical things than the other zombies.
Right.
Like stop and pick up something to carry as a shield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that makes a little more sense too. That they have some kind of rudimentary knowledge.
Yeah, eventually, like it basically alludes to the fact that at a certain point, the zombie becomes more capable of thinking and reasoning on very rudimentary levels.
Right.
Like you think like a cat or a dog, you know, like if you're chasing a cat, it runs under a fucking desk. If you're shooting a zombie and it sees that other zombies who get shot in the head die, it puts on a helmet.
Yeah, or seeks cover or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly, or fucking hides behind a wall or something.
Yeah. No, it was the thing that always used to bug me about the. I know it's just a video game, but like the Nazi zombies on the Call of Duty games. Like there would be a spot where like you're standing on a bridge, and zombies are underneath you, and they're supposed to be these mindless things. Like it seems like they would just stay there and try to reach for you, but somehow they know to go around the map and go up these stairs way over here and come back at you that way.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I think they do that to keep the difficulty level at the right place, so you can't outsmart like really.
Oh yeah, no, I know why they do it. I'm just saying, as far as making any continuity sense, you know, they're that mindless. They're not going to know the layout of the map and know that if you're up there, I can't just run into the wall and get up there. I have to go all the way around.
Well, I've seen circuitous route. I've seen that in movies where the zombies will just stay there, and that's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, that makes sense, dude. It's one or the other. Like either they can, like, you know, open doors and, you know, all this other shit, or they're almost completely mindless.
The zombies in Zombie Strippers are completely mindless, and they added a fun one that bright lights just freeze them because they just stand there fascinatedly staring at the bright light.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, dude.
And then eventually it just starts to drive them off. Like it starts to, like, over the course of the movie, it gets to the point where like they run away from bright light.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man, that seems
when the zombies first attack and people aren't really aware of it yet. The zombie was like pounding on his door, the front door of the guy's house or one of the guy's houses, and he like turns on the porch light and opens the door, and then it's the zombie staring at the porch light. And he's like, fuck, man, what do you want? And he kept like talking to the person. Eventually he's like, well, fucking fuck off, man. And closes the door, turns off the light, and goes back to go to bed. And the zombie starts pounding on the door again. So
until the light comes back on.
Just that little bit.
That's funny, dude.
It's pretty fucking funny. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I gotta watch more of those
movies. Zombie Strippers. That is a pretty fucking funny movie.
I like the title, dude. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's exactly what it says it is. There's a lot of zombie.
It's not a porn, though, right?
No, it's not a porno. Right. I'm sorry. You have to ask that. My apologies. Oh man, I'm bad.
I didn't really think it was, but I wanted to be sure.
Well, it's a fair question when you're talking to me. It is a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of quirks, man. I watch some fucked up stuff, and like I don't recognize that other people don't. I do things like I was at a gas station a day. I was going to buy gas, but then they wouldn't let me buy it at the pump because apparently you have to have $125 in your car on your card.
Huh?
Yeah,
okay.
In order to use your card to buy gas. And I was just like, I put my card in. Apparently, I don't have quite that much. I think I have like 117 or something.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, you guys don't want my money. So I just left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we talked about zombies very briefly, Mike. I'm so sorry. You did miss it. You have to go back like 10 minutes, though. Because I'm like that, though. But I'll do that at grocery stores, too. Like, I've gone in and done my shopping, and I'll get up at the front, and they'll try to charge me a different price from what's on the shelf for an item.
Oh, right.
So I'll walk out of the store.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognize that it's an insane response. Like, you should just be like, well, then I'm not going to buy that item, but buy the rest of your shit and save yourself the time and frustration. But I'll just walk out the fucking door. I'll take my bags and be like, fuck off. I'm leaving. I don't want any of it. Take it back.
Well, no, if they're trying to charge, are you talking about them like trying to charge you a price that wasn't what was advertised or something like that?
Yeah, like you go pick something up on the shelf and it says like 2 for $5 or something. And then you get up to the counter and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, that sale ended like a couple hours ago or something, or ended yesterday.
Yeah.
So I not only will I not buy that item, if I've got like a whole grocery cart full of items, I will literally not buy any of them.
Oh yeah, no. Honestly, I would do the same thing. So
okay, maybe I'm not crazy.
We're both probably weird like that. But no, I think I'm like, fuck you. You should honor it. You left it up too long, so fuck you. Honor the price. Like, why would you?
In California, they're required to by law. But what am I going to do about it? There's really not much you
can do. Right. Yeah, but most places will. Like where I shop at, they'll do that. I'll be like, "Hey, it was marked at this price," and they'll just change it. They don't even check. They'll like, I don't know if it's because I'm there every fucking 2 or 3 days or whatever, but like they just take my word for it and fucking mark it down.
Yeah. Well, like I will never buy gas at that gas station again.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, I've bought gas there before because I can get a discount on it based on like something to do with buying groceries.
Right. Yeah, like, the 10 cents a gallon off or whatever.
But I'm like, you know what? I'll just go buy my gas at like Costco or at another cheap station and not worry about it.
Yeah. No, dude, I've done that. I usually don't make it like lifetime, but like the Arby's here in town tried to charge me for adding pickles to a sandwich. And I literally didn't pay for that. And I didn't go back to that Arby's for like 2 years.
Okay,
I was like, what the fuck are you going to charge me for fucking pickles, dude? Nobody charges for that kind of shit.
I feel much better because that's the kind of shit I would do. Except I might never go back to Arby's ever.
Well, no, I did. Eventually, but yeah, like you're trying to charge for something that no one else charges for anywhere. Like, are you? Or there was actually it was the same Arby's. Like I didn't go there for a while. And then that happened, and then another time, I don't like the onion buns. I fucking hate onion buns. So like whatever sandwich they had on special was like 2 for $5 or whatever it was. I was like, hey, can I just get that on a sesame seed bun and without the Arby's sauce or whatever, because I don't like the red sauce. They're like, oh, okay. And then I get up to the window and they're trying to charge me like $9 for it. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, oh, my manager said that we can't do that because it makes it the same as this other thing. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not buying it. Give me my card back. And again, I didn't go there for a couple of years. And then again, because managers like that are not going to last very long. So I figure a couple of years later, that manager's not still going to fucking be there if they're that much of a fucking idiot.
Well, they're probably violating corporate policy.
Yeah, like really changing from I've never had because and here's the thing that really bugged me about it is I had eaten at plenty of Arby's up in the Phoenix area that had no problem honoring that, just switching bun and not putting that sauce on.
Either the same price or even less expensive for the fucking sesame bun for the onion bun.
Yeah, see, it was just a manager who wanted to fucking wanted to feel important and wanted to throw their weight around. Instead of taking care of the fucking customer,
Yeah, exactly.
Because again, it would be different if that was the same response I got to the 4 other Arby's that I had been to within that, last couple months or whatever. But the fact that nobody else had a problem doing that really fucking annoyed me.
Noob Killer says you probably stopped going to Arby's. Well, apparently I'm not. Dude, I thought I was just fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, it might be a little more extreme than some. It could just be me and you are nuts. That's definitely a strong possibility.
Well, do you also do the thing where you refuse to buy something that's similar to what you want? It's not exactly what you're looking for.
It depends. I would need a specific example.
Well, like not like if you're like talking about like, oh, I want a cheeseburger, but like McDonald's is closed, so I'll buy a Burger King or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like if I'm looking for a specific item for something, like I want a specific kind of lamp or table or something along those lines. I will keep looking until I find the exact item I'm looking for and not buy
something similar.
Yeah, they're not quite what I'm looking for. I'd rather find the right thing.
I do that on some things, but I can't say I do that as a universal rule.
See, that's like my universal rule. It's like if it's not exactly what I'm looking for, I'm gonna keep looking until I find it because there's so many places out there. Somebody's gonna have what I actually want.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it would. Yeah, for me, it really would be in a case-by-case basis on something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty anal retentive about it.
If you're like, fuck you, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find exactly what I'm looking for.
Yep, I'm very much that way.
Yeah. No, I'd be that way about certain things, but not everything.
Probably more sane. All right, I think we've gone about a little over 3 hours now, so we should probably call it on this one.
Yeah, we're getting into a little crazy news.
40 Mike for joining us.
Indeed. Thank you as always.
The next episode is going to be Sunday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Indeed.
Come back and check it out.
Indeed.
All right.
Have fun, fellas. Bye-bye.